Hello, folks. Welcome to the Nateland podcast. Thank you to Viore for sponsoring Nateland. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at VioreClothing.com/Nate. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75. Also, hello, folks, to our friends at Helix Sleep. Nervous about buying a mattress online? Don't be. Helix Sleep has over 12,000 five-star reviews for a reason. Their 2-minute sleep quiz matches you with the mattress that is a perfect fit. Plus, you have 100 nights to try it out risk-free. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/Nate.
Thank you to our sponsors at Athletic Greens. Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Visit athleticgreens.com/Nate for a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. That's athleticgreens.com/Nate.
Cut through the jargon and make investing easier with SoFi. Visit SoFi.com/Nate to learn how you can win up to $1,000 in stock when you open an account. That's SoFi.com/Nate. And finally, Babbel, language for life. Right now, save up to 60% off your subscription when you go to Babbel.com/Nate. That's BABBEL.com/Nate for up to 60% off your subscription.
Let's go, folks. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for listening to this. This is the 100th episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Did you think we'd make it?
To 100?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I thought of it.
You didn't think we'd make it.
Yeah.
Brian and I.
Yeah.
You knew you'd get here.
When I look at both of y'all, I think, golly, how did y'all slip by me for 100 episodes? No, I don't know if I thought, I don't know. I don't know what I thought when we started it, but it's, every time I go to shows, people come up, they listen to it, they love it. It is fun to do. So it's great. And I love that. I love how much people are listening to it. And so it's fun. 100 episodes.
Yeah.
So with 100 episodes, we are going to change up something a little bit. And Bates, here you go. You're moving up to my role, Bates. I'm in your role. Let's switch. Yeah. People voted and they wanted more Brian. So we're going to change it up, and we're adding a 4th co-host.
Oh, man.
So it'll be 4 of us. I know people, we've mentioned stuff like that. I think it's fun. I'm excited about it. It's just another comic, someone that's funny that I think fits very well with us. I believe we have him blurred out right now. And if you're at home, you're trying to guess, you can pause it. If you want to pause it and try to take a shot. You think they could? I don't know. Who are going to guess?
He's appeared on the show before.
Aaron, do you want to take a guess? Would you have any idea?
Yeah, I got
He's
pretty good clue.
Well, he's blurred out, Aaron. So how could you see him?
Can I guess?
Why did you took that like it was a real beating? I thought we were going to go play long, and then you made it sound like I really just yelled at you.
Oh yeah, I was a cower over here in the corner.
You go, I'm sorry.
Yeah, my bad, dude. Yeah.
Huh?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's the guy that used to work with your sister, who's the Bigfoot expert.
He is. It is. We brought him in because he was great.
He was amazing.
Welcome to Nateland, Dusty Slick.
All right. All right. We're having a good time.
Having a good time.
Wow, that build-up really had me. You know what I mean? Like,
I
was more nervous about that build-up than going on shows.
Yeah. Well, I think we're big fans, obviously, and I think you fit well with us. You grew up poorer than all of us, which is nice.
Yeah, bring in a real poor aspect to this.
Yeah,
a lot of money floating around this table.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have money. Aaron comes from a pretty wealthy family.
That's right.
Yeah, big time.
He comes from royals.
Yes.
And then, so me and Bates wanted to be able to punch down, and we were like, well, who could we get?
Yes.
Dusty was in a trailer park.
That's right.
I brought food stamps with me this time around just to pass out, just so you knew what they looked like.
That's how we're paying him.
Full disclosure, I fought against this pretty hard. I just want
Yeah.
people to know. I said Dusty's a little too aggressive, I think.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Doesn't fit the vibe of this podcast.
Yeah.
And I called Aaron and yelled at him.
Yeah.
We voted, and 2/3 were against it. But
Yeah.
Nate was for it. So
My vote counts more.
Yes.
Luckily. But they wanted to vote. They voted me out.
yeah,
Well, I'm pumped to be here. This is fun. So
It's great, man, and we're excited. I think it makes it, it's I don't think anything wrong with having another comic on, and and you got big shoes to fill. Greg Warren was on last week. He did great.
I know. That's why I knew I was joining, and then Greg Warren has to come in here and crush
I
it.
know.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
the whole peanut butter thing, who knew, right?
I know.
I mean,
So
I
funny.
did the same thing with pesticides, and I can't turn that into what he's done with peanut butter.
Yeah, he did great.
But to be honest with you, less people care about weed and grass killer than they do about
Peanut
Jif
butter,
or
yeah.
peanut butter. What is it? Peter Pan he did?
Jeff.
Oh,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Jif.
That was a big recall.
When he was in
Oh,
last,
yeah.
When he was in last week, I was like, God, why did I already call Dusty? No, Greg is awesome. Well, I'm very excited to have you, Dusty. So 100 and on. Let's see. Maybe this will be the thing that.
Yeah, it's about to get hot. It's a
Now it's
hot
about to get-
podcast already getting hotter. You know what I mean? It's about to be real hot. I don't know what's hotter.
We
than
signed
hot.
Dusty up for 200 podcasts, but I've only signed up for 50 more. So, well, let's get started with the Missouri comments. Josh Hudson. Hey, guys, I have binged all the episodes, and I'm glad to be listening in real time now. I wanted to drop a tidbit about the shark that was mentioned in the Missouri episode. There was actually a shark attack in Missouri back in 1996. I will include sources for Nate. I would guess that could be why there was a shark on display at the wildlife exhibit that was mentioned. Keep up the good work. As a UPS driver, you guys help Wednesday be my best day at work. Well, good for you. Thanks, Josh. Wow. I didn't know that.
Missouri is a wild state. There's
Yeah.
a lot going on in
There's a
Missouri.
lot. Well, they have sharks.
Apparently.
Is this your first time reading this article right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, what happened is these sharks swam all the way up the Mississippi River and ended up in St. Louis. That's quite a hike
Yeah.
From the Gulf.
from the Gulf. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like people from St. Louis went down, captured sharks, and dropped it in the Mississippi.
That also could be.
They wanted pets, and they were like, "This is a lot to deal
That's
with."
definitely, it could be 50-50 on
Mhm.
that. I mean, I could see that happening just as easy
Yeah.
as them making it up. Shark, oh, wow. They show you what's the, there's been one?
0 documented shark attacks in the state of Tennessee. That's encouraging.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That feels good.
That is a relief.
But how is there in Illinois? I
guess,
what?
look, this is the same way they come up the Mississippi River right there.
Oh,
Went right by Memphis. They're like, "Nah,
so they don't, yeah.
it's too dangerous even for us."
Yeah. Keep going. Everybody be cool.
Yeah.
Everybody be cool.
I know a guy who got his leg bit off by a shark
You know a guy? Who?
from Lebanon.
Really?
Yeah, he was in Panama City on his senior trip, and he was out in the ocean, and shark bit him.
Was this a guy you went to school with?
He's younger than I am. I went to school with his brothers.
Okay.
With his dad. I went to school with his grandfather. But he's.
His dad's not much older than I am. I'll say that.
His whole leg.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's crazy.
It was like national news.
Yeah.
Like all
When
the way
was
up to
this?
the hip.
Craig Hutto was his name. This was late 90s, early 2000s.
Wow. Oh, yeah. And you went to, his brothers went to high school with you?
His older brothers did.
Yeah.
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 How
You're
old
just
was
doing
this
the
guy?
math and you're-
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure it all out.
I think he was on his senior trip in high school.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. I mean, that was that was big news.
It was huge news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is he still there?
I don't know what he's doing now. He has an artificial leg, and
Mhm.
Honestly, not the worst thing that can happen in Panama City, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a lot of
It could
ways.
get
could've
even
worse.
for
saved
him that weekend.
Yeah, it could have saved
Yeah.
him some trouble down the road. He went to the hospital, avoided some other stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
A
So
drug
you're
addiction.
You're saying he's lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's lucky that it happened. I feel like they should be the mayor of Lebanon.
Yeah, it was probably the front page
his-
of the Lebanon
His
Times,
uncle
wasn't
is
it?
the mayor
Oh,
of Wilson County.
Wilson County.
Yeah.
Well, he's on his way.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like Because it's like a real guy that battle. I hope he runs for mayor and he runs hard against sharks.
Yeah.
That's his main
That's
campaign.
his main campaign.
No sharks in Lebanon.
No sharks in Lebanon.
Keep
Hey.
Tennessee shark attacks at 0.
0. Yeah.
Yeah, frame the other guy as like some business shark. And I've dealt with sharks.
What about
Big shark.
What is that? So New York, is that Pennsylvania?
Yeah, Pennsylvania's got 1 or 2. It looks
Oh,
like.
maybe where? From the Great Lakes or something? Or what's above that?
Maybe I think is it totally landlocked here? It looks like a little sliver's got some.
That's
water.
all they need.
That's all you need.
That's
Yeah.
all they need.
They'll find a hole.
They find, yeah. They're get. What about alligator attacks? Look up
I'll
like
look at
what
that one.
states, because all right, that's fun. Brittany Sawyer, I think we should let guest episodes just be about the guest and do more state episodes like Rhode Island. All right, yeah, Brittany. Well, now we've filled this little guest spot, so
We're
now
done.
it's going to
So
be
that's it.
it's going to be a lot of just
Yeah.
Let's jump right into Rhode Island right now.
yeah. We do need to do. We can just go through states now.
People love the states, and they don't
Yeah.
like it when we veer off, talk about other stuff. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't help. Sometimes it veers off.
but I mean, we said we'd have Greg back from Missouri Part 2. I'm sure somebody will bail out here. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Someone won't work out.
yeah, probably Dusty, but
Yeah. We're trying to funnel someone out, and y'all can. That's the next guest. Figure out who that is.
Episode 101. We're back to 3.
we gave it a try.
Wally Gustafson. I bet it's Gustafson. Wally Gustafson. Nate was talking about how he had trouble going to the bathroom when someone stood next to him in public restrooms. In college, I had a buddy that if we went into a restroom and there was only one guy using the restroom in a line of open urinals, he wouldn't stand next to the guy. He would get in line behind him.
Ugh.
I mean, I understand even not being able to use it with one guy, like if it gets in your head about it.
Yeah.
And that's so funny to stand behind him.
Could you
I mean-
imagine if you had it to yourself and then a guy comes in and stands behind
Oh,
you?
and you're like, yo, buddy.
Yeah, it's like, don't put it on me now.
Yeah,
now I
yeah.
can't pee.
Yeah.
I don't know why this guy's behind me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just wait. Like fake wash your hands.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
do something in there. Start start writing a letter.
I don't understand why every bathroom doesn't have the dividers in between.
it's crazy.
I'm in the airport the other day, and there's still a bunch of open urinals. And not even the one that you can get real close
Yeah.
to. It's like a half trough.
Was it O'Hare?
It was Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember if O'Hare did. Yeah, it's crazy. Some of these, we talked about it last week. But at an airport, I've seen it too, like you said, and that's absurd. They should be ashamed of themselves. I mean, this is
Yeah.
2022.
It's like a little bit of a toilet right there.
Yeah.
That you got to like aim for. Like, let me
Yeah.
at least get up, put my whole body up in there.
You touch the urinal? when
Well,
you go in?
you get close.
You
know
get
what I mean?
close.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take much for you to hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little push, and I'd be right up in there.
And then your sleeves and everything. You just get,
I go, I had an accident
Yeah.
washing my hands.
yeah. And what is it? You just got wet like
Just a square.
just a square on your shirt. The literal shape of a urinal is just on your pants and shirt. And you get all the way
I
up.
got a little shy bladder here, guys.
Yeah. I got to get all the way in there. Don't mind me, boys.
Take it off my shirt.
So this is alligator attacks?
These are fatal alligator attacks, and it looks like they've only occurred in the southeast.
Well,
So fatal alligator attacks, they have not found their way up to the rest of the country.
Why is it painted like that?
yeah.
I think it's just an artistic decision.
So what's the green though?
What do you mean the green?
We don't.
Is
I don't
that
see
green?
Talking about
That's
blue?
blue.
No, the like next to the blue, there's a bunch of green spots.
I forgot you were a little colorblind.
Yeah, what color is that?
That's more like the dark red, kind of
Maroon?
maroon color.
Well, what is that?
I don't know. Sorry.
Why would they put that in of a map?
Is there a
of-
grid?
I don't know. I'll dig into this a little more.
Oh
I
my
thought we were just
gosh.
looking for broad strokes here.
No,
I didn't
'cause
know we
think
wanted
there's
to
been
dive
I think
in.
there's been some that have been farther up. I think the most happened. I think,
I'll read the scientific
Yeah,
study real quick.
red
and then-
seems worse than the yellow.
Oh, there it is,
too.
right there.
Yeah.
There's the colors.
Yeah, we still don't understand. We got
Yeah.
the label here. And I
I
don't
mean,
understand
why
what it
did-
means.
That's
That-
just
the
the
other-
non-native HC.
The other map was so good. The other map was so good, and then
What is an HUV?
I don't
HUC.
know. I'll look into all
HUC.
this. Sorry, everybody.
Hayden Kane. Hello, folks. I attend the University of Central Missouri, and our mascot was a mule. The boy sports teams were the mules, and the girl sports teams were called the Jennies. Never knew why we had such a lame mascot until now. Also funny that Nate said all the other state animals die off when mules are the only ones who are sterile and rely on donkeys and horses to continue to populate. Love the show. Keep up the great work. I don't mind that Jenny's name for the girls. I think that's kind of fun.
Is that what a female mule is? A Jenny?
Probably it's his sister.
I did not.
No, I imagine that has to be. But Jenny's is like kind of a cool name. Yeah, mule is the mules.
I didn't know a mule was a cross between a horse and a donkey.
Oh, yeah.
But I looked it up, and they can't breed because they have 63 chromosomes.
Yeah, they're sterile.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I don't know how many chromosomes you have to
I didn't even
to
really-
mate.
well,
but,
I didn't either. A horse has 64 and a donkey has 62.
Yeah.
oh,
No.
you would think the donkey.
A female donkey is called a Jenny, by the way.
Yeah.
yeah,
a
we kind
female
of took that
donkey.
from the.
Well, I just wanted to confirm it.
Well, I'd be pretty surprised if it's like with the men's team is the mules and the girls' team is Jenny's. You're like, is that female donkey? You're like, nope, nothing to do with
They're
donkeys.
called Karens.
All right. We went on another route. No alligator.
Yeah, I've got a breakdown. We
They
got.
made it in Oklahoma.
Oh, that's good.
This is better.
Oh.
This is just in 2016. I mean, we can look at other years, but this is a pretty good year. We've got all the fatal animal attacks.
That's not for just that year. That's up
Yeah.
until then.
Yeah,
I don't how
Sharks
I
are
don't know
really
how you
cleaning
know
up,
that.
though.
you're not doing it. Never mind. Just I'd rather. I went to the Oklahoma Zoo with Justin Smith, and
Yeah.
they said there was an alligator attack up there.
If there was 28 fatal shark attacks in 1 year, that'd be a big.
Maybe it wasn't
Yeah.
fatal. You're right, Brian.
Yeah, I think
You're right.
we'd have heard about that.
It would have been a
The
real
year
problem.
of the shark, 128 people died.
Half in Missouri.
Yeah. And then the guy, no, I don't remember them talking about that. Peanut butter and potato chips comments. Madison Hill. I'm worried episode 99 with Greg could bring the whole podcast down. Greg reminded us how entertaining it is to listen to someone share on a topic they actually know about, have real life stories, and know the inside secrets we never knew. It's going to be tough to go back to a topic filled with Google research, random tangents, and no personal stories. I'm here for it, though.
Wow.
She's right.
Yeah. Robin Gordson Wilcox. Nate saying he bought into Dippin' Dots sink, line, and hooker. And wanting to be their spokesperson is the perfect ending to the episode, in which he also admits to not knowing what Procter & Gamble is, as well as not understanding how stocks work. Just when I think this podcast couldn't get any better, they prove me wrong by topping themselves. Sink, line, and hooker.
I actually didn't even catch that. I was just thinking, like, I'm into Dippin' Dots too.
Yeah.
I do like them.
Yeah, they're good.
I didn't notice it at the time.
Now, no one.
When
I
Nate
was.
said
It was
it.
at the very end of the podcast, and I was looking down for one more tidbit
Yeah.
to throw out. And but yeah,
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of people brought that up.
Sink, line,
Yeah.
and hookers.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's ever said that before.
Yeah, no one's ever said civilian station
That's
either.
what maybe, yeah.
Well, that just feels like
Cutlery.
you're, honestly, that feels like you're
Cutlery.
really into it. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, I know
Yeah.
the real one, but I mean, even that one's like, you're even more into it.
yeah.
Sink,
Sink,
the kitchen sink,
Yeah.
like all of it.
A
really
line.
you get right in there.
Mhm.
What is the saying?
Hook, line, and sinker.
Hook, line, and sinker.
And it's a fishing metaphor.
Yeah.
Now this is no longer
Sink,
about
line, and-
fishing.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone, yeah, we might make some sink, line, and hooker t-shirts.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Chase House. I love this week's episodes. I personally work for Frito-Lay as a route. Rather said route. As a route sales representative. According to Greg, we are the money company, and I'm here to tell you we are.
Oh man.
We have 4 different brands that sell over $1 billion a year: Fritos, Cheetos, Doritos, and Lay's. And that's all just your regular flavors. That's not
Wow.
even, they're not even trying.
He's like, we're not even scratching the surface.
We're
yet,
not
dude."
even, that's our just main, that's money in the bank. These other low level companies can only ever fight for second place in a battle for snack food supremacy. If you want a taste of greatness, I can hook you up with samples of all flavors available. Ooh.
Wow.
We can be our own test market.
See, this is how they get you right here.
Yep.
He's doing exactly what Greg said they did.
Yep.
Yeah. he
I'll
goes.
send you some free stuff if
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah. Mm,
And it's working, to be honest with you.
It's
I would
working.
love some free samples.
yeah.
Well, that is what they do. In the
I think he-
pesticide world,
He goes, I think he knows Aaron.
I was always fighting for second.
Tell you what, I would love. Aaron.
He's like, Aaron, we already sent you some.
yeah. And he goes, Aaron, I don't think I had to go with that. Tell you what, I'd love to try some. What do you guys have? Yeah.
Now, Greg says Jif got too much publicity last week, so Skippy did a hit job and brought out this recall.
Oh,
the
that's true.
salmonella.
That's true. Yeah. What were you saying? You were second.
Well, you know, when the big companies, I mean, they always send out the free samples. I was the second, I was fighting for second in pesticides, you know, and we don't have free samples to give
Yeah.
out.
Even
You know.
second place does it.
Yeah, I mean, we're fighting for it. We don't even know if we were in there. I would have
Yeah.
like some mosquito wipes or something
Yeah.
like that, but people are looking for the good stuff.
You just like if someone sees you driving around in your truck with the
yeah, like we had
mosquito on the top of it, and then he goes, "You got any free stuff?" You just open your glove box, start shoving. You go,
Well,
you
I
throw
wish
it-
I had a truck with a mosquito on top.
Yeah.
we had outdoor events, and the big company would have a grill, grilling out hot dogs. They had a 50-foot inflatable ant, and
Oh, wow.
I had a little, you know, some mosquito wipes. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, hey, I got to, you know,
and
I'm
a
just,
pencil.
and I'm sweating,
Yeah.
you know, and I
Yeah.
look bad.
I'm picturing Dusty like a third grade science fair with that trifold poster. You just got one of
Yeah,
those set up
exactly.
out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little diorama.
Exactly. That says, I don't know why I'm out here.
Yeah. Riff Quantum. That's a fun last
That
name.
is scientific.
Riff Quantum. I hope he's a scientist.
Yeah.
I once stayed in Columbus, Ohio, another test town in the USA, while on tour with a band. Or he's in a band. Riff Quantum. That's also a good band.
It is a great
Yeah.
guitar name too, Riff.
Yeah. The locals were told us that living in a test town can be a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because you get a constant flow of new candies, chips, soft drinks, and fast food restaurants to try, in addition to the regular ones that everybody has. However, it is also a curse because sometimes you can end up falling in love with a certain food item only for it to fail the test and never be seen again. Ooh, that's true.
Wow.
Mhm.
Can you imagine just you're like, what happened? It's like the chili cheese burrito, Taco Bell.
What happened to that?
It's gone. For a while, you could maybe, I would ask, I don't even ask anymore because it's embarrassing. You go in, I mean, now the people that would have even seen the chili cheese burrito at Taco Bell are dead. So, but like, you used to be able to, like, you could find a place randomly on the road that'd be like, they haven't got the
The word.
the email. They haven't got the letter that said we're shutting down the chili cheese burrito. Chili cheese burrito was great.
I never had it, but I'm
No.
into it.
Yeah, it was good. Clifton Hatfield, the Dippin' Dots inventor, first sold them at Opryland, USA. Wow.
Did you
Oh,
know
that's
that?
where I had Dippin' Dots
Yeah.
the first time.
That's probably where I had them too. Wow. That's good.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we fell in love. We were the test.
Mhm.
Maybe we were the test.
Yeah, I
Theme
mean, they
park.
were great. I was like, this is
Yeah.
awesome. Little ice cream balls.
Yeah.
You know, I was
They
like,
did better than our theme park.
Yeah.
They hung around longer.
They hung around longer.
Yeah.
Michael Sinsheimer. There was an oversight in the Procter & Gamble brand discussion. The brand discussion was great, but would have loved to hear the gang discuss the logo controversy around the Satanist symbolism.
Dusty, I'm
into
glad
that.
you're here
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah, so that's my father-in-law, first of all.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking it out.
Oh, yeah.
Got the old logo pulled up here.
Is that
So
is that how Lucy says her name?
the H is silent. Sinsheimer.
Sinsheimer.
Sounds
You're
like
still
that.
saying it.
Yeah, sounds like
yeah, well, I guess when you look at it, you
Still
want to
put
say
the S and the H to
Sinsheimer.
Shimer.
the S and the H are
But to
just
go, the
divorced.
H is silent.
That's
and
right.
then you go, but you still say
Sinsheimer.
the Sins. I go, H is silent, but
You're right.
Sinsheimer.
I did do
And
that.
you go,
You emphasized it more.
yeah. I go, well, the H is still there. You go, yeah, it's just not. Just say the H is there. It's not the route you're probably going to
Right.
take.
Just don't be obnoxious about it.
Yeah.
Sinsheimer. Here's the logo. We've got a kind of a man on the moon,
Yeah.
and people allege that we got some devil horns here at the top and the bottom, and then
Okay.
we got an inverted 666 here at the bottom.
Yeah, I would say it's too aggressive a symbol for what they apparently do. And like the name Procter and Gamble. This is like I would like that. You're like, what are they? This is like some evil company or whatever. And then you're like, what do y'all do? And they're like, we do like potato chips and stuff like that. And then you're like, yeah, well, dude, this is a lot. That's
Yeah.
a lot.
It does feel like a
I
lot.
agree. The 13 stars represent 13 colonies, they said.
Well, what does that even?
I
why are
agree.
you even getting the colonies involved? Like you're overthinking this, dude. Like it's so funny to be like, their job is to, what do? They do advertising or they
make
I've
a
already
bunch
forgot.
of stuff.
They make
all
this
They
stuff.
own these brands.
Yeah, they own the brands. So to own the brands, which is meaning you have to come up with ad branding to sell it. And then to be, well, your main thing is that bad is crazy. Like, I mean, it's a shock that they even made it in the business.
I agree. And this was a 20-year thing that they finally had to go to court about it because it was an urban legend that they were Satanists. There was this story that the president of Procter & Gamble went on Phil Donahue's show and said, yeah, I'm a Satanist. There's not enough Christians to even matter to stop us. And for years, churches would not buy Procter & Gamble products.
Wait, the guy went on?
It was all, that's not true at all. It was just
Oh.
an urban legend that he went on Phil Donahue. And
No one
I
looked it up?
remember. I remember
back then it was harder to look stuff up.
people talking about
I
Procter
mean,
and Gamble.
if it got so big of a thing, I mean, I would think they would call the company. I mean, that's so crazy that you could lie about something that was on TV.
Yeah, urban legend that's a national television show.
I know, but those is the early 80s, and Procter & Gamble denied it the whole time, but the rumors kept spreading that, yeah, they went on Phil Donahue, and you had no way to look stuff up.
I know, but I think
Yeah.
they could be like, he's never been on Phil Donahue. He's never been on the show.
Yeah, they
I
never
agree.
asked Phil Donahue.
Yeah,
about
they
it.
never called Phil Donahue and just say, hey, was he on there and said that? And they're like, no, I don't think so. Why would we have the Procter and Gamble guy on? Phil Donahue. I have married couples fist fight. You think we would just also be like, no, let's get the Procter and Gamble guy? You think he's like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah.
If he's a Satanist, he might.
Yeah. But it would be, yeah. All right. Yeah, the symbol, this is it is a lot.
Yeah. Now it's just P&G.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's pretty good.
They really abandoned the logo thing altogether. huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chad Anders. We have an entire episode about peanut butter, potato chips, and various other junk food, but no mention of the weight loss challenge. The people need an update. I have an update. I actually weighed myself today.
I weighed last night, and I weigh essentially exactly the same,
What is it?
like 185.
What did I weigh?
191, I think.
191.
Yeah, what are you down to now?
I weigh 176.6.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's crazy.
15 pounds.
Yeah.
So my theory was, I knew your barber was going on the road with you as your nutritionist. I thought it was just for one leg. And I was
Yeah.
like, nah, he'll slip up and then
Yeah.
he'll slip back. And then I saw him at Mike Vecchione's taping. He's like, no, I'm on the road with him permanently.
Yeah.
And I was like, uh-oh, I may be in trouble.
Yeah. He's been doing great. We just count calories. Calories in, calories out. I'm not saying it's the right way, the wrong way. I don't want, if whatever works for you can work for you, like do whatever. If you're trying to lose, like if you're trying to lose weight, just do whatever you think you should do. Whatever you probably should do, you're not gonna, it's like even just getting something started. When people talk about like eating, I might have talked about it, like no carbs or something, you're like, just do it, dude.
Mhm.
And then commit to it. And if it gets too much of a problem, then stop. But like, commit to it.
Yeah.
It's the dieting is all about just committing. So it's like whatever little thing you want to make believe in your head. They're like, well, you don't want to do that because then you just eat carbs and then and it's like,
Mhm.
well, dude, if you can get way down,
Yeah.
like no one's fluctuating like that. No one's like going like Atkins and then getting down to like 50 pounds and then they just have bread and now they're next day 200. Like if they have the determination to get to that 150, then they can keep it at that 150. Even if it was like, hey, you should probably not do Atkins anymore. It's not.
Mhm.
I know it helped you here, but then,
Also, the fact that Fritos, Cheetos, Doritos, and Lay's is $1 billion industry, maybe that's the problem with some weight loss.
Yeah. Makes it
That's
hard
true.
for sure.
That
Makes
stuff
it
is
hard.
real good.
I don't
dude.
know
That's the
anybody that's
problem.
like, you know what? I went all Doritos, lost 50 pounds.
yeah. We did it with or someone gave me I ate this Halo Top ice cream,
Mm.
which is great. 300 calories. And then I've learned though, like you want to eat protein because I can, like if you eat something kind of garbage, like I'm going to be hungry, very quickly after, and I will be starving. So then you can start being like, all right, well, I want like some meat, or I want protein, I want something that I know will fill me up. And then I ate Haribo, whatever those sour gummy bears, because I mentioned those. So we had a nice couple brought me some of those this weekend, and they're in the medical field. They're doctors or something. But I looked at the servings. I could eat 12 of them. It's 110 calories.
Wow.
And so you're like, I'm still like, and now I could do that as a meal. Like, you could eat Oreo cookies if you do calories and lose weight. You would feel miserable. You won't ever feel full. But it was like nice to be like, well, I ate 12 of them.
Yeah.
I love them. 12, Last night I had a little packet of Sour Patch Kids because I was like losing it. And I think it was 110 calories. Like, you're just doing that. I don't want to go down too far road that because that's the road that I get stuck where I'll be like, well, I'm going to just eat the whole bag. But it's like you kind of go like.
Do you find that you enjoy them more now that you're eating less of them, or do you feel?
Man, I really like those. Like those when I had them. Yeah, it's so good. I just eat them all in my mouth. I just put every one.
You eat all 12 at once when you get 12.
All in. I think if I went too slow, it'd be too hard, and so I just jump it all in, and it does. I love it.
Oh yeah, when I only have a few of a thing though, I'll eat like the ear off of it and then the head and like when I would have a kid, being poor, you have 2 Reese cups and that's all you got.
Yeah.
So I would eat like the sides off of it.
Yeah.
And then
I think I did that too. Like you can keep it slow, but this weekend I wanted them and I had 12 of them and I had the calories to spare. So it was like I could either. And I was like, well, I just gotta eat these, and I ate 12. But I could eat 12 every night. I mean, if I wanted to, like, just be like, all right, that's what I'm eating.
See, this is where we're wired differently. If I had 2 Reese's cups, I would eat them both. I'd stack them on top of each other, just indulge, and then just be sad for longer after that.
Oh yeah,
I never had the patience or the foresight to like let's ration this out over the next few minutes.
Oh yeah, I would freeze them. I would eat all the chocolate off, then eat the peanut butter. I mean,
it's like surgical.
It's like you're living in the desert for many years. I got to make it last.
This is my candy right here. I got to work it.
Dion DeBeld, right? Dion DeBeld.
Yeah,
that sounds right.
Hello, Nate, Aaron, and Briarbrush. My wife and I are big fans, and we saw Nate and Brickyard in Fort Wayne, Indiana in early 2020, about 10 days before the world shut down. You both had us in stitches with your 100th episode approaching. I thought you guys might get a laugh from looking back at a master list of every nickname for Big Daddy Bates from the start of the show. Do we have it?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. How many are?
So on this list, he's compiled.
He made this
269 different names for Brian.
I don't think that counts Briarbrush.
No, we got to add Briarbrush to that for sure. Bonbon, broomstick,
T-bone. I like some are not bees. Lunch lady.
It starts off. We got Mike White. Like it starts off. You're starting to see the genesis of this. And then it just evolves into Brontosaurus Butterball.
Wow.
Benjamin Buford Blue. This is awesome. Thank you for putting this together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is a good
we'll
reference.
post that on something.
Yeah.
But breakfast is the most popular, right?
Yeah, breakfast was like I think kind of it started, but it's just
breakfast was one of the early ones, and Nate said that was his favorite, and then it kind of stuck. But there's a lot of.
Where's the lunch lady come in at?
They said I was like the lunch lady because I hung out with the lunch lady when I was in school.
I like there's a vagabond who's just thrown in there too.
Yeah. There's a lot of mean ones in there.
Yeah. Boat ramp is pretty. Boat ramp is pretty good too.
Yeah,
because that's so.
Big Lot Bates. I like that.
Big Lots Bates.
Yeah.
We love our Helix Sleep mattress, and it was unbelievable to box. I love that when it came in, it just comes all the way out. When you see it, blows up. It's nice. We have the Helix Dusk Lux. It has medium support, and everyone that sleeps on it is surprised how good they sleep. Helix Sleep has a quiz that takes just 2 minutes to complete and matches your body type and sleep preference for the perfect mattress for you. Everybody is unique. They have soft, medium, and firm mattresses. Mattress is great for cooling you down if you sleep hot. Mattress is great for spinal alignment. If you're looking for a mattress, take the quiz. You order the mattress that you are matched to, and the mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free. Try it out for 100 nights, risk-free. Helix was awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 and by GQ and Wired Magazine. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/Nate. That's up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows at helixsleep.com/Nate. Also, Viore. I'm wearing Viore today. I got this Viore jacket. I met the guy that owns Viore, and he was at Troubadour Golf, and I told him he did our podcast, and he loved it, and then they gave us, and I've wore this jacket. I mean, almost every day. It's an awesome. It's like a runner's jacket, I guess, but I mean, I wear it like everywhere. The whole pod crew loves their Viore. Laura still has she wears her performance jogger with a Halo hoodie. I had the Halo pants on last night. I got the workout shorts now that we're walking as part of my exercise. We do walk on the 12.5 incline at 2.6, and we're at 15 minutes. Then we'll go to 20 minutes
On a treadmill.
And it's so you can keep track of it. Also, I wore Viore when I was walking. The website is very easy to order from, not cluttered or busy. Seriously, order some today. Viore is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, they are offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at vioreclothing.com/Nate. That is VUORI clothing.com/Nate. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to vioreclothing.com/Nate and discover the versatility of Viore clothing.
There is one healthy thing I'm doing with my eating, and that is Athletic Green. If it wasn't for Athletic Green, I wouldn't even still be the same weight.
We had some today.
Well, yeah. I make, you pour 1 scoop in, 12 ounces of water. That's my breakfast. I make Eleanor her little scoops, and we both have breakfast together. Breakfast has breakfast with Eleanor, and it's great. It's none of us eat very well the rest of the time, but Athletic Green is great every morning. It tastes great. It's easy to make. Drink quickly. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and help your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially with cold and flu season. It's happening. Dusty, you got your flu shot?
Well, I had some of that Athletic Green today. It was delicious.
Yeah. 1 scoop, a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Nate. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/Nate to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Did you get that shot? Well, I got some Athletic Greens. That's a no.
That is enough. And that feels good.
That's all you need. Listen, with all the jargon flying around like meme stocks, altcoin, shilling, it can be hard to figure out how to start investing. That's why I started using SoFi. This is true. I've been using SoFi for a couple years. I went into it knowing nothing about the stock market. I didn't even know what a stock was at the time. I just knew everybody was doing it. I hopped on. It's a super easy to use interface. You can figure out all the different stocks, like the hot ones. You can buy those. ETFs, which are like collections of stocks. You can buy crypto on there.
Diamond hands? Do you need diamond hands?
Yeah, you have diamond hands like me. That's one thing. If you like to sell, if you're a coward, you can do that on the app as well. So whether you want to get started with investing or you already know the ropes and you think, I've already said a bunch of stuff that's wrong, that's fine. SoFi has your back. No commissions on trading stocks and ETFs, no account fees or hidden fees. You can buy fractional shares of a company. If you can't afford an entire stock, just buy a little bit of one. That's great. Complimentary financial planners are ready to help with any questions. You can save for retirement with traditional Roth and SEP IRAs. It's very exciting. Cut through the jargon. SEP IRAs?
Yep.
Well, I like to just let them know.
All right.
what the acronym is, and I got a couple coming up.
All right.
Okay. Cut through the jargon and make investing easier with SoFi. Visit SoFi.com/Nate to learn how you can win up to $1,000 in stock when you open an account. That's SoFi.com/Nate. Brokerage and acting and investing products offered through the SoFi Securities LLC, member FINRA/SIPC.
Wow.
You know what those are?
No.
That's right. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, it's our old friend Babbel. Most of us learning a second language in high school or college wasn't exactly a high point in our academic careers. Dusty, did you take a second language?
I did in 11th grade.
What'd you take?
Spanish.
You speak Spanish now?
I got a D.
Now, thanks to Babbel, there's a language learning app that's sold more than 10 million subscriptions. It's a fun and easy way to learn a new language. Babbel teaches bite-sized language lessons that you'll actually use in the real world. I can tell you, I took a lot of Spanish in high school. I can subjugate a verb for you, or conjugate, but I can't speak it fluently. That's what this does. This is taught by real people who speak the language, and they want to teach you practical language that you can use in conversation. And they're bite-sized lessons, which is very fun because you feel like you're really cruising through it. I always say it's like a book with short chapters. You feel like, man, I'm a good reader, and you've only read a couple pages. Other language learning apps use AI. Babbel doesn't. You got 14 different languages: Spanish, French, Italian, German, and others. They have speech recognition technology where you can talk back to it, and it'll tell you how bad your pronunciation is and how bad your accent is. Anyway, start now with Babbel. Save up to 60% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/Nate. That's BABBEL.com/Nate for up to 60% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life.
There you go.
I think I speak two languages because my wife's from California and my mom, as you've pointed, the bases have always been here.
Yeah.
So when my mom comes and stays with us, I have to be a translator.
Yeah.
We just had we got another critter issue. We're going
just nonstop.
Oh, I mean, it's getting out of hand.
Yeah.
It's really getting out of hand. But I was going to bed other night, just got Eleanor down like 2 a.m. and I came in, I was like, I smell a skunk.
Yeah.
And it got worse and worse. And then I went ahead and went to sleep. This has nothing to do with my mom, but then I woke up next morning, smell's gone. And I'm like, it's gone. I guess it moved on or whatever,
Just don't look into it anymore.
Well, I mean, it's gone.
Yeah,
so I'm like, what are you going to do? I looked out the window. He went out there smoking a cigarette. I'm like, my bad.
I don't know if it was a cigarette, but someone was getting down.
Late that afternoon, I go walk the dog. I come back in. Smell's still there. It's completely there. We just got used to it overnight it's permeated throughout the house. I got the Opry in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I think maybe all my clothes, everything smells like skunk, but I can't tell. So I was considering going to Walmart and just go up somebody in the aisle. I'm like, you smell something.
Yeah.
It's through the whole house, you think? Like it's gotten into the
think
closet?
So. I think so.
But you just can't tell because you're used to the smell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Ruth got in her head that she looked online that gas leaks can sometimes smell like skunks. So now she's thinking maybe that there's a gas leak. This is where my mom comes to stay with us.
So you bring your mom into this. You think so? You think it's a skunk,
Let's get a
possible
third
gas
generation.
leak, and you go, you know what? Let's get my mom down here.
Skunk is best case scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. But she was already away. She got in. She's like, that ain't nothing but a polecat.
Polecat.
That's what my mom calls skunks.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever heard that?
I have heard
No.
that.
No.
Yeah.
So my mom has all these words I have to translate for my wife what they mean. But that's what she calls it. A skunk is
Nothing but a polecat.
Polecat. Did you ever find out?
it's still there. I mean, did I ever find out if I smelled or
Just any of it? I mean, I'd imagine you wouldn't be the first person that performed on the Opry and smelled like a skunk.
That's probably true.
I told this.
I mean, there's a bunch of.
They're like, this guy fits in.
I told the story that night on the Opry.
Yeah.
How I was afraid I was going to kill Jeannie Seeley.
Yeah.
There's still little like friends are coming over now, bringing us food and seeing the baby and stuff, and we often just stand outside and talk to them because our house kind of.
No one's looking into it.
I mean, I haven't called a professional if that's what you're asking. I've went around the house, looked underneath, tried to find
How many days is
source. It's been over a week.
So we're just going by your mom
So you
saying
ju-
it's
yeah.
not a gas leak.
So
No. I called. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were about finding the skunk.
well, I mean, yeah, just anything.
We did call the gas company, and they came out, and they said, no, that's just a skunk.
Were they irritated with you?
The gas company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I called them about a gas leak one time. I thought it was a gas leak. They're like, there ain't no gas out here. It was so mad at me. I'm like, I don't know. You say to call if you smell gas.
Well, we have gas. You don't even have gas?
No, I had gas.
Oh, yeah, if you have.
You know what I mean?
I thought you just had a wood burning stove.
You're off the grid. You know?
Yeah. They're like, you don't have a gas hookup out here.
Yeah. So I was off the grid this weekend. Not this weekend. So in between shows, before we went to Vancouver or something, we had the bus and we had like probably a 2 days to stop. And so we went to Lake Tahoe. I've never been to Lake Tahoe. And so we're staying at this hotel, and in the back is this. So they go to these mountains. So one of the last days we're like, hey, let's go on a hike, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me, Eric, I'm a skinny man now. So me, Eric, the barber, and Chase, and my son.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, people still come up to him, and he doesn't know why.
Chase is his merch guy.
Okay.
Yeah, but everybody, people go up to him and ask him if he's my son, because people thought I had a son that was 23, and I've just never talked about
Just
it.
never mentioned him once.
Mentioned it. And then, so people always come up and ask him, and he said this weekend someone DM'd him and said, are you Nate's son? And he goes, no. And he goes, why are you asking this? And he goes, I just do what I'm told. And
Wow.
then Chase was like, what does that even mean? And so I haven't told him yet still. But so we're going to go do this. So we go on this hike. It ended up being, first we were just going to do like a side hike and go around this reservoir. It wasn't like too crazy. And then we end up realizing we have more time to go do it. The top of this mountain is a volcano.
Whoa.
And Mount Pluto. And so we haven't seen Lake Tahoe. So we're on the other side of the mountain. Lake Tahoe is like 20 minutes. And so I wanted to be able to see like some of Lake Tahoe. And they're like, well, if you go to the top of that, you can. And so we're like, all right, well, let's see. You want to hike? We end up going on a 10-mile hike.
Whoa.
And so, I want to say either 3,000 elevation or 1,000. Like, it was a crazy amount of elevation we changed because we were started at the bottom. So these are ski slopes. So we go up and we start going like sideways up and down the trail that you can kind of walk it. And then we're like, well, it's getting, I mean, dude, and there's points you get in the shade up there. I mean, it feels like it's 45 degrees. And then I have shorts on.
There's snow on the ground, right?
Oh yeah. And then, so one point we're like, well, we're not going to make it to the top if we keep going the long, kind of the zigzag way. So Eric, who's a lunatic, is like, well, let's just run. It gets to the point we're following the ski lift.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, the ski lift is right there. It's like, that's the top. And we get to one point, it wasn't the top. And he goes, I think that's the top. And you're like, I'm not going to, at this point, I'm like, I can't do any more of this.
Yeah.
Like, we've been hiking for hours. And I like, who knows if that's the top? We can't see. It's like, whatever. So he's like, I think it's the top. So Eric runs up there, and then it comes back. I mean, like 30 minutes later, we're just kind of waiting on him, looking at how to get down. We're very high. And then he comes back. He's like, that's the top. And so Eric does it again. We're like,
Wow.
All right. And then so we do it again, and we're just going straight up under the ski lift. So it's not, you're not on the path. It's kind of climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we get to the top. Now go to 1. Yep. And so we made it to the top. This is the top. And then this is a black diamond slope. So it's me, Chase, and Eric. We find these poles. We got a view of Lake Tahoe at the top. There's a post office there's a post office building up there. It's kind of crazy. And then go to the next one. And then
sorry.
yeah. And so, this is it. So we have to walk. So now to come back, because we're like, all right, well, what's the easiest way back? Walk down the diamond slope. And so we're just walking down. It's a diamond. From the top, we just go straight down this thing in the snow.
Did someone fall there?
That was me sitting down. Because I only fell a couple times. But dude, I was like, well, maybe if I slide, but I'm scared to slide. There's rocks and stuff under all this.
Yeah.
And so like when the snow's up, you're not going to hit it. I'm scared to slide. Oh, at the top too. By the way, the water we had, I drank water right before I went hiking, put it down, and had no water. So we went on like what we thought was going to be like an hour hike, and now we're into like hour 4.5. But we found an unopened bottle of water at the top of the mountain and we drank it.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but it
Oh,
was
you should.
it was not cracked.
Oh, well then, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
take
I don't know how long it's been up there. I mean, like there's like it's not like I'm in the
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the top of a ski slope, so like there's bottles of water like just everywhere because people drop, but most have been drank out of.
Yeah.
This was still sealed.
This was still sealed.
Okay.
Oh,
So
that's
we all
for you then, man.
Yeah, so we all shared it.
4 hours, I might have drank an open one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we would have. I probably
Yeah.
would have drank an open one if we didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Because there's
Not if it was designing.
No.
No,
No.
yeah. They would, I would have drank it. So we drank that, and then we came down. There might be a video of us walking. The other one it's yeah. Don't even have to worry if it's going to do a whole thing.
No,
and
it's
play
not
it.
going to take one.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it was wild, dude. Like it was the most. This is Eric. So Eric basically just skied down it with his feet. And he goes all the way down, and then me and Chase is trying to just stay with me.
To help the old guy.
Well, there's a
His
point
dad.
when it is you do. You come 43, you're like, I'm not going to get myself.
Yeah.
This is I don't want to get hurt doing this. And as I fell down. I tried. Then I was like, well, maybe if I slide a little bit as I sit down. That's the coldest thing ever. And so then I just was basically, you kind of got to zigzag back and forth a little bit, and then I finally got to some dirt, and then we got down. I mean, we were gone for 4.5, 5 hours.
You did about 10 miles, you said?
It was, yeah.
That's
10
a
miles.
pretty substantial hike.
Yeah.
Man, especially not on a hiking trail.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
the
know?
opposite of a hiking trail.
Yeah.
Well, I do like hiking. It's fun. I mean, it's, I did not bring my phone. That was kind of a day. Like I had some I had just some career stuff that it was like, and so it was like, I was like, yeah, I'm not bringing my phone. And I just went out and
Mhm.
like, it was so great in the fact that like I had like it was like, a stressful day and a career day, but it was or a frustrating day and a career day. And so like, it was like, it was so nice that like when I came back, you felt like so satisfied.
Right.
Accomplished.
And then I had to do a call right after when I got back. And it was like just nice to be like, when I call you, like, all right.
Yeah, I've already conquered a mountain.
Yeah,
dude.
you're
I don't
like,
care about this call.
Yeah, I'll do whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'll just do my own thing, man. And so yeah, it's very satisfying. But I hope I don't have to do that much to be satisfied. Like that was like, but you just feel like you're like,
Yeah, you don't want to start off with 4 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then now each time you walk 2 hours, you're like, well,
You're
that
like,
wasn't
it
what I
was
did
even
last
worth
time.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love the fact they say when you go hiking, just make sure you take your phone and some water.
Well, they both had phones.
Yeah.
Eric's died immediately. I mean, we weren't even on the hard hike. We were, I promise you, 30 minutes in this hike, we're like, so it's like Eric is like, well, take a picture, Eric, because my phone's dead. You're like, so Chase's was fully charged, so we were good. That's my son in the front. And they're, so yeah, but it would end up being awesome. I mean, we got those sticks up at the top. We brought those back. I mean, we're in shorts, standing in that stuff. I mean, it was
That's really cool.
pretty
man.
wild. 10-mile hike. We were off the grid. I was off the grid. I mean, once
Yeah.
Chase had a phone,
Yeah.
you feel like we need to get down. I mean, we don't think we're going to be in trouble. We're on ski slopes because it's like, I know everything just goes down.
Mhm.
And so everything is that way. But I mean, you look around. I mean, these mountains, dude, like this is where Donner Pass is.
Mm.
So I posted that picture. I was
Mhm.
on Donner Pass Road
Wow.
when we went down there. So these are these aren't the exact mountains, but the Donner Mountains are right there. And so we could have went hiking on those mountains.
Where the
too.
Donner Party happened?
Yeah, we had to drive a little bit farther. This was easier to get to. But exactly where the road I was on where we went and ate breakfast is called Donner Pass Road. So the whole town, that's the town.
Whoa.
So if you go to Lake Tahoe, it's like 25 minutes is like you can go, I think you can go hike where it's like,
And almost the same thing happened to you guys.
we almost.
What's the Donner family?
The Donner Party, you know, where the cannibalism, where they got locked in
Yeah.
and they had to eat each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all from there. And so Lake Tahoe, it is like, you can see it though. Like, it's funny. I want to,
Oh, they got trapped on the mountain and then they had
Yeah.
to be cannibals. Oh, that's
Yeah.
pretty scary.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where you're walking.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I wasn't right. I mean, there's, you see, I'll be honest, you see Ritz-Carlton Sun right behind me, but it's, if you dive into
5
the
feet.
picture, yeah.
We are out there, man.
We're out there, dude. You don't even know what it's like, how hard it is. But those are the ski slopes. But we were up there. But at one point we go off another route. But we lose track of the mountain. I mean, at this point we know where we're at. But there's points where you could end up going where we got off so sidetracked, and that it was on one way. We looked at his compass to be when we were like north south, so we knew, all right, north is but then you're like, where's our hotel at? And you're like, well, we know south is, so we're like talking about which way to go. And you got to go down the mountain. But it's like, you just don't know, are we going to end up like
The
you don't
other
want to
side
go
of the
down,
mountain.
the wrong side.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that side, or just end up way off where you're like, you feel like you could come out and you're like, you're 20 miles from the hotel. You're on a road, but then you're like, well, now I got to, we got to get someone to take us. It was great. It was pretty thrilling.
That's awesome, man.
We need to go do the Donner. Next time I go, I got shows in Reno. I might go do the Donner Pass. Maybe go.
Do they have like the house that they were in that you can?
I don't.
Visit,
They have a
maybe?
little museum and stuff.
Okay.
But I mean, I bet you could go walk it now and you'd be like, y'all die from it. That's probably the hard part. Because look at it. Like, you look at those mountains in the back. They had to go over those.
Right.
There's not, like, now there's a hotel there, and it's like we go. It's still a hard, and I mean, this is a hard hike.
Yeah.
I mean, switched into borderline climb because we just were going straight up this mountain. So it's not easy.
Yeah.
And then you look at what they had to go through. I mean, you just saw like where the mountain went down. You go, let's try to go through that part.
And they got snowed in. Just feet and feet of snow.
Yeah, it's the dead of winter.
Yeah, I wish
right?
I knew more about what happened to them. How
We'll tell
long
you.
does it take to be a cannibal? You know what I mean? Like, how
Yeah.
long would you have to not eat before you're like, I'll eat a person?
It was
It snowed in on a
3 days.
Monday. Wednesday they were eating each other.
Wow, that
No, I'm
seems
just kidding.
quick.
I was gonna
Okay,
say.
I was going to say, that seems
Yeah.
quick.
They were up there for months, right? Like, it was a few
Yeah,
months.
it was
They
a
had
long
kids.
Yeah.
But we have people that listen to the podcast that are descendants from the Donner family.
Wow.
Yeah. So today, since we were talking about, let's get into eating people, the end times, and off the grid.
If
right?
things go bad and we all got to go, which one of us do you think lasts the longest, and which one
go our
goes?
separate ways.
Well, I just mean if things get bad, something goes down in the world, and we all got to get out there and survive, be survivalists. I mean,
Oh, you and I are out immediately, Brian.
What
That's what I think.
what do you think happens?
I mean, you might not make it over just a regular week. If they have, they have, I don't know. Usually electricity goes out for a couple days. I'm like, I don't. Brian might not have made it out of this.
Yeah. I don't have, I'm not a prepper. I don't have anything to last me more than a week at my house. I don't have a gun.
Yeah.
I'm worthless. If something like this happens, I'm worthless. Nobody on the block turns to me for help. I don't grow anything. I'm the anti-Dusty in a lot of ways. Dusty's been preparing for this for his whole life. I
Hoping
feel
for
like.
it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it does feel like, like if the power grid went down and like all cell phones were out, it'd be a real relief.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't have to do social media for a minute.
Yeah.
This is great.
Do you have stuff prepped? Like, you have food?
Yeah, I got a couple of things.
You've got land, right?
I got some land. Yeah, I'm working on a cabin.
Yeah.
I got a cabin. I mean, it's like, but if you got to get out there.
Would you get the location?
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
He
Don't
posts
do it.
video.
Well, I
Well,
talk.
I'm joking. You talk about it, but you don't get the point. You don't want to give the location.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
not the exact, but
Yeah.
yeah, I got some.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some land out. I'm trying to build a cabin, and I got. I'm growing some fruit trees.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the
So we give
McMinnville,
the town
Tennessee.
away
Well,
right away.
I'm
Yeah.
sure they're going to
Well,
find
this is
you
on
now.
your.
Yeah.
Do you not
it's
want to
a-
show this?
No, this is fine.
It's on YouTube.
It's not a public YouTube video, but it's.
Oh, my gosh.
well, he said it to
Maybe
me.
you
I
can
thought it
pause
was. No, that's all.
No, it is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would do. I want to buy some land. I get the idea of.
We cut that tree down. Anyway.
Oh wow, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for the update. Just keep us posted. On
Well,
how
it was
everything's
an
going
old
on the,
oak out there.
on the old town.
Yeah.
Mowed that grass right
Yeah,
there.
The
last
grass
week.
is mowed.
Yeah, because that electric pole we put up. I could see. I remember reading there's a gas station, so they sell like a truck stop. They sell prepper magazines big time there, and I got one time, and it's interesting. Like I like looking at it. I could see it. I mean, it's one of those things that seems crazy, but I would one day wouldn't mind buying some land and you just have somewhere to go, and if you have some stuff stocked there. I don't know. It's just the idea.
Yeah, let's just say you went to the grocery store, right? And then there was no food in there, right? Okay, so one time you're like, this is pretty scary. But then everybody you know is going to the grocery store and there's no food in there. How long before everyone flips out?
Yeah.
Not long.
Not long. They've done it over the toilet paper. And
baby formula right now.
Right now, baby formula. But it's so it wouldn't take much. And so I get it. I get wrapping your head around having something that's you can go to and and then you go.
And then everybody's an alcoholic, right? So the liquor stores are empty. Now nobody could get, and then pills. I mean, it's chaos out here.
Yeah.
You think it would just snowball?
Yeah. I think people would be killing each other quick.
Yeah. It would. Yeah.
Quick.
It would. Yeah.
How quick?
Yeah,
like Monday and then a Wednesday. Yeah, right? That's what.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would get real. It is scary because it's you're relying on so many other people.
Yeah,
and so if it goes down, well, the people at the top are going to be fine because they have somewhere to go. And then the rest, though, you're no one's going to be looking out for you.
No, it's just a free for all down here.
So I read where over 50% of the executives at Silicon Valley have bought a stowaway retreat if things go bad, and New Zealand is the hot place to go. So much so that New Zealand had to pass a law that you can't buy land there unless you're a native New Zealander.
Oh, really?
Because it was like the wink, wink. Hey, I'm looking for a house in New Zealand, meaning I want to get off the grid, and all these billionaires were buying up all the land there.
Yeah.
In New Zealand. They say it's a good place because it's, it's probably safer than North America or Europe as far as being attacked.
Yeah.
They still speak English. It's its own island. It's beautiful there. So that's where all the rich people are escaping.
They have planes.
Well, what can you really grow there? Can you grow? I mean, is there enough land to grow stuff? I don't know what's going on down there.
Yeah, it's a real country.
Yeah.
And
it's not small.
But how big? I don't know what's going on down there.
Size of Old Hickory Lake.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
They don't have snakes.
They got some farmland.
Yeah. No snakes.
No snakes?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So that's kind of the hot place to go. But I mean, do you have a way to grow food and such?
Well, I'm learning to grow food. I got, it's I grew peppers and tomatoes and cucumbers last year, abundance. And now I can't grow them this year. I don't know what's happening. So I'm learning to grow things. But I went out there, I got a big dirt mound out on the land, and I just started putting squash and watermelon in there. Did nothing to it. And it's growing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
So
that's good.
Yeah.
But will you have electricity?
I will have electricity. I'm not trying to live off the grid, but I am trying to prepare a spot just in case,
That's what that's what I think I would
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I would prepare. I looked up. There's off the grid stuff. People can build underground homes.
Mm-hmm.
You can have these underground things. I mean, they get and they can be $10 million, and you can have it where it's like a 5-6 bedroom thing, under
Under your current house or just under
no,
somewhere?
just under somewhere. You could have it if there was a nuclear attack or there was something. I mean, some could be tornado shelters. You could go down and you just, some are small and it's you just sit around. But I mean, it gets crazy. I mean, they can build. You could. I mean, they have where you could you grow food in there. You have all this kind of stuff.
Somebody said Kid Rock had something like that, a trailer and then an underground house under the trailer. Is that true? Does anybody know that?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I read where underground bunkers are up 300% in sales, even since the war in Ukraine happened.
Yeah, I mean, it would be I'd want to see what the sales were before. You know, it's like
Yeah.
There's one and they sold three.
No, there's three.
Yeah, and you're like, but I could definitely. There's enough happening that you're like, I don't think you can make fun of someone that thinks about it. You'd be like, I don't know, dude. Like, if you entertain the thought of just, being like, yeah, I might. I don't know. When you start thinking about how much you rely on people,
Yes.
on other people that don't care about you,
Yeah.
you get a little like, oh, that's crazy.
Well, even the idea that prepper comes from being prepared.
Yeah.
Right.
Like making fun of being prepared.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Boy Scouts.
Well, it's like if you go do all this though and nothing happens. But if you do something like what you're doing, like you get some land, you could do that kind of stuff where you're like, you could go out there for just to get away, like, but then also I have that for when it goes down.
Yeah,
I
it's
press
a whole
button, everything locks down. We start just firing guns at
yeah,
people.
it's a whole retreat. Yeah, and
Yeah.
if it goes down, we go out there. Yeah, we just start shooting for no reason.
Yeah.
There was
Just
that
let
show.
people know what's going on around
Yeah.
There was that show Doomsday Preppers on National Geographic. It was the most popular show they ever had, but real preppers say it's the worst thing that could happen to them because it was just a bunch of crazy people.
Yeah.
And now they think crazy, but
I had a friend on that show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You met him through the show?
No, he was. He lived in Charleston. He did comedy, and he was a prepper of sorts. And he wasn't a real prepper though. He was, but he got on the show.
Yeah.
And then I introduced him onto the stage for his comedy segment of the show.
Oh, really?
So I'm on Doomsday Prepper a
Oh,
little
wow.
bit for a second.
Yeah. I love that you're just in the
Oh, man.
world of that. Like you just somehow get on. So like,
Well, it's like you buy one thing and then you get a targeted ad, and you're like, "Oh, well, I do need that."
Yeah.
You know? I don't want to get caught out here without a.
you got a bug out bag?
Axe/shovel.
do people get ads from like stuff that we say on their phones? And
They
stuff?
say they do.
Oh, really?
People all the time send us stuff like, I never got this until I
Oh,
watched
really?
your. But now, this week, everyone was like, I got this GIF recall. I'm like, you can't blame that on us. That's just in
Yeah.
the news.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wondered, that'd be fun. I mean, these are just regular people that might be like, a lot of them are regular people that are like, I don't want a prepper ad.
Oh
And
yeah.
then they're going to. Well, I wonder if they're going to see the ad difference between when Dusty came on board to. It goes from like some fun, silly stuff to just some real, just like
Yeah, get
what
ready.
to do if a guy comes at you with an axe and you got your back against the wall, and you're like, well, why am I? I don't need to know that.
Dusty's, I don't know. Can I mention your other podcast?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Dusty own podcast. Are you still doing it?
Yeah, I still do it. It gets a little inconsistent, but I still do it.
But
Yeah.
he'll have some funny stuff on there that he'll say, because it's just him. Let me pull up this and tell you about it. And then he'll say, God, my Wi-Fi is terrible, but I'm glad it's terrible because they're listening to our thoughts anyway. Okay, here it is right here.
Yeah.
And then he'll just keep on going. And it's just so funny.
That's true.
Well, the Wi-Fi is wild, right? If you think about this idea that you get anything you want to your screen, right?
Yeah.
Anything you want pulls up. But where's that coming from, right?
Yeah.
It's just floating around in the air. Is it going through our bodies?
Mm-hmm.
And what is that?
I think they make it not go through our bodies.
I mean,
I think they ask the Wi-Fi and they go, don't go through anybody's body.
well, I hope so.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
talking to a guy who knows a lot about this kind of stuff. He's a professional hacker. And he said, I'll tell you the first thing I do is I never use Wi-Fi.
Oh, really?
I never use it. He says it's just not safe.
Yeah.
Much less a public Wi-Fi like at an airport, but even at home. he
Safe
said,
for
I
hacking?
do- It's just you're so vulnerable on a Wi-Fi network. He says, I hardwire everything. And once you see what people can do,
Yeah.
and you're like, he's just so nervous about it. He only hardwires everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty alarming. And I thought
Yeah.
about that for about a week, and then I just went back to using Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Well,
'cause it's so
hardwire is
convenient.
like better, right? Isn't it?
It is. It's more
Yeah.
secure and it's faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually, in the middle of COVID, I bought like a 700-foot Ethernet cable. And I taped it down with gaffer's tape on my house, and I have it running from my router downstairs into the basement. So
Yes.
my computer's hooked up, but we still use the Wi-Fi on our phone
Yeah.
and everything.
Everybody prepares in their own way, you know.
That's right.
Everybody, you're ready for Wi-Fi or whatever. I'm trying to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm trying to eat too, man. Let's not get that wrong.
I mean, when I check into a hotel, I mean, as soon as it pops, Ramadi click, it could be anybody. I'm like, yep, that's it.
I don't I don't use it a ton. I'd shake it off. I'd rather use my cell signal in a lot of just because sometimes the Wi-Fi it'll shut your phone down.
Yeah.
Like it attaches, and then you're like, now you can't even use your phone. It's like it's getting onto someone's weird Wi-Fi, you know.
Yeah.
He was telling me about people hacking into cars, like the navigation system on a car. And you know, these newer cars have automatic parallel parking and stuff, which basically means you can control how the car drives through its like the hard drive on it or whatever. And people can hack into those and just drive cars off cliffs.
Oh, really?
And yeah, it's very scary when you think about it all, you know. That's
they
theoretically.
Yeah, theoretically. No one's done that.
I think people have done it.
Oh, really?
There was 128 deaths in 2016.
Yeah, I don't have a
cars off
the cliff. Yeah. But it is a real security concern. Is that if you're on board if it can control how the wheels move and the steering wheel,
you just go.
Yeah, a bad actor could hop in there and just kind of wait till you're on a bridge and just
Vin Diesel
drive you off. Yeah, I don't get that.
Like
He's
a bad actor.
actor.
I don't know what that means either.
It was like too far
I know
after
what
I
Vin
said
Diesel
bad
means,
actor.
but I don't know what you mean by bad actor.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
So there's a
I
Doomsday.
like Vin Diesel.
There's a.
You don't have an ally on this, Brian. This is a Vin Diesel podcast.
I stole that from Mark and Unson. He has a joke about
right.
Vin Diesel being a bad character. There's a Doomsday Clock that the scientists have been doing since I think World War II, where they count down based on what's going on in the world, how close we are to midnight, which is Doomsday. We're now closer than we've ever been, I believe.
Well, that would make sense if they started the.
It's 100 seconds to midnight.
We're always a bit closer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the clock doesn't work like a traditional clock.
Okay.
It can go backwards.
Okay.
There's been times of peace where it's actually went backwards, but
What's the farthest back it's been?
let me see here. I think it went back to 14 minutes to midnight. Like they don't start it.
We've never been
14
less than an
minutes.
hour. Like,
In 1991, it's 17 minutes till midnight. I think that's the furthest back. And then
Well, I don't even.
2020, they moved it up to.
I got that wrong.
it's pretty alarming to pull up a website. It says at Doom's doorstep.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't.
we're-
That doesn't. I don't believe
100
this stuff.
seconds.
That makes me furious. That doesn't even make you like. You want to go like we've never been. So you like we started the clock, and once we invented this clock, we were at 17. Like it's almost midnight. It's always been almost midnight.
Yeah.
Like like it's only been bad news.
Yeah.
And like that's so like any something that's only bad news. I'm not saying we could be. Who knows what's going to happen? But it's the idea that scientists don't know.
Right.
That's the point of science, is that you don't know, and you're like, well, we're 100 seconds. You're like, if stuff goes good, you're like, oh, we're back to whatever. I'm at 100 seconds.
They're basing it on climate change.
What is a second? Like, if you can move the time back, it's like, what does any of it even mean? Is 100 seconds 100 years?
We won't make it through
Is
this
it-
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very arbitrary, but
Yeah.
Well, the good news is we're Central Time.
Yeah.
So we have about an hour.
Well, there's a
more.
bunch of different time zones. So what if even these questions, you go, which time zone is this in? And they're like, it's whatever it doesn't matter. It's like a general thing. I go, well, we have a pretty different time zone. So
y'all may be taking it a little too literal as far as the clock, but it's supposed to show, just how when things go bad, we're getting closer to the end times, stuff like that.
I mean, that's crazy. I think it's. I mean,
See, I don't like. I mean, even I don't. I never heard of the Doomsday Clock.
Yeah, I get that it's fun,
I don't know if that's their intent.
but like
We put up this fun
kind of fun.
tool
It's
at
kind of
Doom's
fun that you're like,
doorstep.
yeah.
It's a laugh a minute.
But I mean, is there? Yeah, there might be.
Could you look at the FAQs
people that are like,
or
guys,
the
we are at
timeline?
100 seconds to mid, and you're like, what are you talking?
The climate change stuff's always so boring to me too. They're like, the weather's gonna get us. You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, well, if we've destroyed the climate so much that it's about to kill us, what are we about to do now to fix it?
Well, I'll
Like-
tell you what we're going to do.
Okay.
We've got a global seed vault in Norway where we're storing all the world's seeds in this underground
I got a few of them.
bunker or vault in Norway. It's the farthest north you can fly on a commercial airline. And they have 930,000 varieties of food crops. So if the things ever go bad, we could replenish the earth with these seeds from all over the world.
All right.
Yeah, as long as that place is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they found the place they thought was the safest to store it.
Yeah.
Okay. Who gets them?
Norway. They paid for the
Oh, Norway did it?
Norway paid for this seed vault, and people all over the world brought them
So
in.
who gets the seeds though
Yeah.
if it all goes south?
Yeah,
Well-
who owns these seeds?
Yeah.
Probably Norway. I'm
It's the
guessing,
world
but-
government. That's what it sounds
Yeah.
like.
Oh boy. Well, that's another topic for another episode.
Yeah.
There's
Seems right on.
We
for
trust
the end of
Norway. The
world.
world ends, and we trust Norway to handle this. I mean, what have they done ever?
Yeah. They did a seed vault.
yeah, they're thinking ahead.
Pretty good.
But what could
It's a
happen
good start.
that
Yeah.
then is like everything's destroyed, but now we're good to plant seeds again?
Well, like if a meteor hits the world or something, and we've got the world goes cold or hot or whatever it is for hundreds and thousands of years, and they can
Yeah,
replant.
well, it's prepping. It's no
Yeah.
different than if your prepping can go as good as it goes, but if you get a meteor that hits your house, then your prepping was pointless.
Right.
So it's like I think it's at least the option.
Well, okay.
That's
but that's
true.
not a climate change prepping, though. Because that's my thing. If the weather got so bad that you couldn't grow crops, how good are the seeds going to do you?
Well, I think they inside. I guess you would just have to like fake it,
Get some
and they
halogen
do-
lights?
Yeah, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. They
I'm-
do that now, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. There's some scientists proposing a sperm bank on the moon.
Okay.
So,
All right.
It's like a Noah's Ark.
I want like that job. Like I want. How high do you have to get to then you can start just saying like, and look, you got to look. You probably do really have to exhaust all this stuff. I get it, but like, what do you get to be that level that someone that they don't ask you to leave? Like they would make,
Yeah.
they'd be like, it's okay. Like I watched Moonfall. It was another it's just like the moon falls on us, and
Who's in it?
I don't know. I mean, it's a new one.
Okay.
Halle Berry, Patrick
yeah.
Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that Roland
Emmerich.
Emmerich.
Yeah.
He's fun, and his movies are just kind of like crazy, and
Yeah.
like it's a very it's like what I like. It's just a fun, mindless movie. But like the guy that's doing it. He said the moon. I don't know. He figures out something. The moon's coming on us, but it's a guy that no one believes, and it ends up being a guy that ends up being he's the one that actually figured all this out. So that's the thing that's always kind of crazy to me. I don't remember what I was saying at the beginning, but it's always gonna be someone outside, not inside,
Yeah.
that thinks of it. And so it's like, when do you listen? Because if you have someone outside that said, "What if we do this on the moon?" and they're going to be they put the guy in jail. And then you have a scientist that goes, "What is the moon?" They go, "This guy's brilliant."
Yeah,
You're like, what's the
Yeah.
how do you get to that job?
You got to earn it, I guess.
That's where you get the
Gotta have tenure.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's where you get the conspiracy part of people, because they're like, well, they just stay on their side going like, we'll figure this stuff out. But a lot of the stuff sometimes ends up being like, if Dusty said we should put a sperm bank on the moon, you'd be, well, Dusty's a lunatic.
Yes.
But you're right. If you
Yeah.
have a few degrees.
If you went to
that's
college,
great.
I'd be like, well, he's a
Yeah.
smart guy.
I still would be like, Dusty, I'd love to hear your explanation for
Yeah.
this. I'd
Yeah.
love
I
to
mean, I
hear-
wish I had thought of it.
Yeah.
Sperm bank on the moon.
What for? What do they do?
Well,
What
again,
for?
if the world, if the world's
Are you
destroyed,
really asking what for?
Yeah, why the moon? Oh, if the world ends,
Oh, I
so
think
we can.
why is the sperm bank on? Like, I think. What do you mean? What for? you,
Yeah, how far back do we
Yeah,
need to go
yeah.
here, Aaron? No, I get it.
Are they
okay.
putting eggs up there too, or just
yeah,
You'd hope
Okay,
they'd have some
okay.
fertilized eggs up there.
yep, they
it's got a bunch of sperm up there, and then you're like, we forgot the eggs.
it's,
the ladies will
the
make
loudest
it.
Yeah.
dead gummit you ever heard. Gummit.
Why did I think about this? Again, if a meteor hits the Earth and everything's destroyed, We got to have some people living on the moon.
I hope the moon doesn't fall on us with the sperm bank on it. You know what I mean?
That could be part 2 of Moonfall.
Moonfall.
What is this?
Yeah.
But they've got 6.7 proposing million different samples of creatures, including humans, that they want to put in this Noah's Ark, basically on the moon.
Okay.
And this scientist said that Indonesia's Mount Toba erupted 75,000 years ago, and it caused a 100,000-year cooling period where a lot of species died. So he's like, it could happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the volcanoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that there was a volcano. We saw Mount Rainier. Had to fly out of Seattle, and so Mount Rainier we saw and I know the joke about it, but like when you see it from the airport, it's so big.
It's massive.
It's like you see it, and then there's clouds, and then you see it.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And but our driver was telling us like they had a volcano exploded there in 1980, in like not in Seattle, Mount Rainier, but in
Mount St. Helens?
Mount St. Helens.
Yeah.
And like and that was 1980. And you're like, there's a lot of volcanoes, dude. It's crazy that none of them are,
Erupting.
Yeah, like, you're hearing about them some, but man, there's some that you're like, dude, if they erupt, they said they found ashes in Boston from Mount St. Helens.
Wow.
So it's like if one of those go, you're like,
Yeah, the volcano's terrifying.
yeah.
Well, I think there's a prediction the Yellowstone one's going to erupt this year, right?
Yeah, Yellowstone has a super volcano under it where it's here's a map of what would happen if it exploded. The kill zone, it takes out Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, most of Utah, like right away.
That's crazy.
And then it just messes up the rest of the country. And they think it would cause like a nuclear winter, right? In the way that a nuclear attack would. Where it blocks out the sun, crops don't grow.
Seems to knock out a few of the loony bins in there too.
Yeah. The comedy club.
All right, let's hear it out.
It's not all bad.
So if you were in the kill zone, is it just because like do you die immediately, or you die like it's like the lava eventually gets to you, or you can't breathe, you can't?
Oh, it's also massive earthquakes, right?
Yeah.
And all kind. It's just total chaos there. And just the lava or whatever comes out of it.
But it's like I wonder if like you're towards the end of the kill zone, do you have time to get out of it?
Like if you're in secondary ash zone.
If you're right on the
Well,
cusp,
primary
there.
ash zone is like you're fine. You get a good view.
A lot of comics moving to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Zanies is going to be tougher to get on those shows.
Yeah, that's wild.
And the scary thing about the Yellowstone supervolcano is everything I've read about it, they're like, yeah, we're pretty due for it to. Like, it's about time.
But that, it's funny that, now this is coming from my driver, but he was like, we were saying that he's like, everybody's due for everything. Everything's due. Everything's always due.
Yeah.
And so they've been, it's when you hear that they've been due for it since the 80s, and not saying that we're due for everything. So it's like, you got to go like, all right, well, it's, I don't know. You can't just go live life scared because you're like, they were due in the 80s. When that Mount St. Helens exploded too, the guy told a story about there's a guy that lived on the side, a cabin in the mountain. And so they had enough warning that they told everybody, just get out.
Oh, they knew it was about to erupt?
Yeah. And I want to say 56 people ended up dying, but it was almost like the people that died were, it was like you had the warning. Everybody was telling you to get out. They knew and one guy his name was Truman, and he had a cabin on the mountain, and he goes, I'm gonna stay. And they're like, well, you're gonna die. And he goes, I've been on this mountain for a long time, dude. He goes, I'm gonna go down with it if it goes.
Wow.
And then he died. And
It's a true man.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was like, I don't know if they would let you do that now. Like,
they'd haul you off.
they'd
You'd
haul
be
you- yeah.
institutionalized.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
guy in a hazmat suit shows
Yeah.
up, kills your pet, and grabs you.
1980 they go. Have a good day.
Yeah.
He was old. He's like,
I get that when I have family that lives on the water, the Gulf Coast, and they would every time a hurricane would come, they go, we're not leaving.
yeah.
Like, this
Can
is
they
where
make
we
you
live.
leave now?
I don't know if they can do forced evacuations. Not in that way.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they can, but they just wouldn't leave ever. So like, we're just gonna ride it out. We've been through hurricanes before. Whatever.
Yeah.
This is where we live. I'm not going to leave my house.
It's like I like that they're standing up to hurricanes. Like it's standing up to something natural like that. It's not like it's standing up to like some mean guys or something. It's like, well, it's a hurricane, and you go, I'm tired of these hurricanes coming ruining my town. I think one day
pushed around by these hurricanes anymore.
we're all gonna stand up for them. I tell you that. Next time one comes through, we should all go down there. You ain't welcome to your hurricane.
Have you guys seen the movie Don't Look Up?
Yes.
Not yet. I've seen some of
I
it.
saw it.
Well, at the end, the super rich.
Are you ruining?
Every movie I mention, don't.
Well, that's a pretty new one that's out on Netflix. It's only been out a month or two.
It's already gone through an award cycle,
Yeah, but I was going to watch it.
All right.
What is it?
They look up at the end.
Yeah.
I was going to. All right, let me rephrase the question. If something terrible went down, do you think the super rich, the Illuminati, would have a way to get out of here?
They're already gone.
Yeah, dude, the Denver airport underneath.
Underneath it. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they would have. They did in Moonfall. Wait, yeah. Was it Moonfall?
It's probably Don't Look Up.
No, it was in Moonfall they all go somewhere. They all have this. They all fly and go to this. Like, I think it's Moonfall. It's one of his movies, and they all go to this. Receive generally negative reviews from critics. I love it. I thought it was super fun.
What about Elysium? Yeah, or something like that with Matt Damon, where he's like wearing the robot suit or whatever, and the Earth is destroyed, and all the rich live up in a.
What is it?
Elysium.
I never saw that.
I need to watch that. Is it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it probably bombed too, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Matt, what's up with Matt Damon always living somewhere we gotta go rescue him? Did you say Matt Damon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Martian and Interstellar.
The Martian, the Martian won like best comedy or something.
It was nominated.
Yeah.
Golden Globe.
Golden Globes comedy/musical. Yeah. It had some funny moments in it.
Yeah.
So some of the suggestions they gave, like if war broke out or somebody tried to overtake us, one, LASIK eye surgery. Because when you're living off the grid, you can't be dependent on people contacts or glasses.
Interesting.
I have LASIK.
Yeah.
Some good.
I'll stick with the glasses.
Yeah.
Why is that? You don't.
Nah, I don't want people digging around in my eyes. I mean, I know that a lot of people have success with it, but I don't like it.
Well, I'm saying you should do it now before it gets evil.
Yeah.
So you want to do it now where it's still very politely done versus you do it later when it's evilly done.
Yeah.
So
digging around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it 10 years ago. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And
does it stay forever or does it go
supposed
away?
to. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it went
I think
away.
you might eventually need readers or something like that.
Yeah.
But right now I don't. I think I have 2015 vision.
Wow.
Maybe I could. There's a couple times now I could see like stuff's a little bit harder for me to see, but I don't know. Some of it could be a mix of getting old, but I don't think I'll ever need glasses besides readers.
You don't care enough at this point, It's something a little blurry. I don't even care.
No, I could see. Last time I went to the doctor, I was like 2015.
Yeah.
And so I probably due to go to the eye doctor again, but I was like, it's pretty good. And then I'm saying as the age you just have trouble reading something. I don't have trouble looking at something on someone's phone. Like I have a lot of friends that are like, Laura does and try I like hand on my phone and they're like, whoa. Like you can't even, you're not allowed to hand it to them within like a 30 feet radius because they're like, whoa. They got to hold it back.
You're talking about, dude, Nick Novicki on his phone.
Well, Nick's the best. Nick goes. This is how Nick, if you ever see Nick Novicki on his phone, he just goes.
That's not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
Is he legally blind?
Yeah, he had some eye stuff.
He's
not legally. He's close. He has some eye stuff, and then
I knew a guy. We used to wait tables together, and he would get so close to the screen, like to put in the order.
Yeah,
it's like, jeez, dude. It's like I know you got a thing going on, but like we're in a hurry.
We got to go. Dude.
Yeah.
Another thing they suggested, especially for the big city, have a motorcycle. Because when there's gridlock and everybody's trying to get out of town, you need a motorcycle to get off
an
the
electric bike.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, electric bike.
Yeah, e-bike.
Better have a gun, too, if you're on that motorcycle.
I have to get your whole family out of town with a motorcycle.
Yeah.
You're like, see you guys.
Give them those little things on the side. That's about it.
Little side.
Well, you have a helicopter. That's Burr talked about it in his act. He's got his helicopter license.
Yeah.
It's basically just so you can go up and then
Straight
go
up and out.
straight
Oh,
up
yeah.
and out, and then
It's got to be able to own a helicopter.
Well, yeah. I mean, if your priorities can be whatever your priorities are going to be. I don't know how much helicopters. I'm sure they're very expensive, but I'm sure you can find a helicopter that I don't know. If this was your life,
Yeah.
you could find someone that's not a millionaire that's like, well, I got a helicopter.
He saved up.
He saved up. He figured out some way to get what he needed to get out. If he's true,
So out in New Mexico, they're building these things called earth ships. And it's basically recycled material like old tires and stuff like that. It's 100% off the grid. Don't need, I think they have solar panels and you have to build a water system. But our comedian friend, Chad Ryden, has bought one, or he's bought land. He's moving to New Mexico in a couple of weeks, and he's building an earth ship
Oh, really?
to live off the grid.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What does it
Wasn't he
look
just
like?
railing about all that stuff?
Yeah. So this is an Earth ship, and this is the pic. Like,
I swore he was making fun of me about stuff
Yeah.
like that not long ago.
Well, it's because you weren't going far enough.
Yeah.
You're staying in McMinnville.
so they're selling these as
Well, you buy land and then you have to build it. So
Yeah.
he's looking for help now to build it. I think he's gone out there and helped others build their earth ship.
yeah.
He bought land from a woman, I believe, who sold pot. Pot's legal out there, so she made her money off selling pot. And now he's bought some land, and he's going to build an earth ship. And
Wow.
he's going to live in New Mexico in the desert.
And the idea is they're
Yeah.
fully self-sufficient out there.
Yep.
You got solar powered, I'm guessing.
Yep, got to build some type of cistern for clean water and
Wow.
stuff like that.
And then there's so your phone, that stuff is gone.
I mean, I guess you could still use your phone.
Yeah.
Uh,
They have what? But like, if everything went down, you're like, it's almost like you would just lose cell service,
Yeah, and that's
And
about
then-
it.
and that's about it. You'd be able to do everything else.
Yeah, the rest is self-powered. I get the appeal of it, man.
Yeah.
I truly get the appeal of
Would you even know though if it went down? If you're living out in an earth ship and everything collapses, do you even know?
Yeah. That everything collapsed. Well, maybe when you see the people running towards your Earth ship.
like Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that's a good idea, Chad. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I made fun of you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like that he's doing it.
Yeah.
I definitely love that. And then, but it's like, that's the only thing that make me nervous is like, you're doing something that everybody knows about. So it's like, you'd be able to say, go build an Earth ship, but go do it and don't tell anybody where it's at.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
I think he wants to build like a comedy commune where comedians can come hang out, do some shows,
yeah.
all of it.
I'll be, I think I'm going to Albuquerque next in the fall, Chad. So I'll come see your Earth ship.
I've driven across New Mexico and like for hours not seeing another person.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Breaking Bad.
Drew Goddard, who wrote The Martians from New Mexico.
Oh, really?
It's probably where they film a lot of them Mars footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wrote it?
Yeah. The guy wrote a book about it, then he wrote.
Yeah, he
whatever they
directed.
did.
Yeah.
I don't think he directed it. I think he,
He did the screenplay.
the screenplay.
Yeah. So the Arctic World Archive is another place where they're storing all of our information in case things go down. Also in Norway, very close to the global seed vault.
Putting a lot of
A lot of stuff in Norway.
We're really banking on Norway to keep it together, huh?
I just think it's the best climate, they think.
Nothing to do
What's their climate there?
Cold.
Oh,
But then it's in a vault that's also cold. But if
Okay.
electricity goes out, it's not going to immediately just ruin
Right,
Yeah,
right.
because it's so
But
cold.
we trust them
underground.
more than we trust Canada.
I don't
you know?
know.
I think it's a world problem. I think it's not a. Yeah, it's not like China or Russia or something. It's
Yeah.
Norway. Yeah, they haven't. They just kind of leave everybody
Yeah,
alone, right?
All right.
Norwegians are good people.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not saying they're not
And I think it's literally
It's not
just where the
Maryland.
best place to,
to live.
if a meteor hits Earth, I think everybody's wars will probably calm down.
Well, you'd hope so.
Well, but I mean, I think you would just be like, well, we all got to survive. Like, you know what I mean? Like, then Norway's got all the power. So if something goes down, they have all the power. But I guess we would go tackle 'em.
Yeah, immediately.
You know
I
what?
think,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's only one flight out there.
right.
You better go and book that ticket. You just got to book it every day.
It'd be like, dang, I wish I didn't build an Earth ship.
Yeah.
I think they're putting this on like film, like a little digital film, like paintings and plans and stuff like that. It's almost like if everything went bad and years from now someone came visit our planet, they could look and see what we did and could recreate it.
Oh, well, that's nice of them.
It's not like a literal painting of the Mona Lisa stored in
Yeah.
there, things like that.
It's a little scrapbook
yeah,
of our time
Yeah.
here on Earth.
yeah.
So they can do, and we just ask, could you mind doing that? We're gone.
Yeah, recreate all
Do
this.
you mind just doing exactly what we had? And
Because
they're like,
obviously it worked out for us.
yeah. Here's what we were doing that we thought worked, and you're like, yeah, we're gonna do our own thing, man. We're a new Earth now.
We're just gonna start over.
Yeah.
Well, with those spaceships, the Saturn 1 and 2 we talked about, we sent out, they've got records and all kinds of stuff on them.
Yeah.
They've left our solar system. Do you know about them, Dusty?
I don't know about it. What is it?
Saturn 1 and Saturn 2, I think. Or is it Voyager 1 and 2?
Voyager 1 and 2. We sent these probes out. We just kind of shot them out into the universe.
All right.
The thinking with the thinking is eventually they'll run into something, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we loaded it up with the best of humanity. We loaded it up with a record of sounds of a baby laughing, of running water. We put some math books in there. We put, I think, little Johnny B. Good, who sings that? Chuck Berry.
Yep.
Chuck Berry on a record, sent it out there, and the aliens are going to find it one day and discover who we are from these records.
Yep.
It's called the Golden Record. What do you think about that?
Well, I like the record,
Yeah.
but I don't know. You know what I mean? They're always like shooting a probe out, and there's things apparently rolling around on Mars. I know, you know what I mean?
They found a cave on Mars.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. So
I mean, they were like trying to get gas to go down, and they're like, "Well, we got a thing out on Mars."
Yeah, that is gas price. Gas prices are high. Ah, it's all right.
yeah.
We got found a basketball hoop on Mars. Just they keep bringing up dumb stuff. You're like, God, dude, I can't get any baby for me. Oh yeah, well Jupiter has they do pickleball up there.
It's the most popular sport.
Yeah, and you're like, on Jupiter, it's enough to get you. They do
Distracted.
pickleballs on Jupiter. You go, that's where we got it from.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so bad now. They're trying to be like, "Oh, there's aliens, guys." They did a whole thing on it, and no one watched it. No one cared that there were aliens.
Who put
And
it out?
I don't know. The news.
Are you talking about recently?
Yeah.
Like last week?
Yeah.
Oh, they're trying. I mean, they're basically coming clean. They're just like, yeah, they're here.
That was a congressional hearing. Yeah.
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
time in 50 years.
Anything to get us.
No, I
to
think
not-
that's about. Did it already happen or is it about to happen?
It happened last week, but they said
Oh.
basically nothing.
Yeah, that's because they don't say anything.
Yeah.
The good stuff was classified, they said.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So food prices, some people argue it's going up because these food storage plants are all being destroyed.
Yeah.
You know about
That's
this?
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
You know those, Dusty?
Yeah. I mean, there seems to be a lot of accidents happening.
Yeah.
Now, Snopes has debunked it as being anything but just your
Oh, yeah.
average accidents. That
Yeah.
happen. But a lot of people think there's something undermining that's something bad's going to go down.
Snopes is
Yeah.
a little suspect too.
The year of the accident.
Yeah, it's like a lot of stuff. They've all had fires or
Fires.
airplanes crash into them, and
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of like man,
Weird
how many
stuff.
of them are?
24, I think.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
a lot. 24 of them.
That's a trend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Snopes is sketchy.
Snopes
They're
is
like,
sketchy.
oh, listen, guys, that's all fake.
yeah, we looked into it.
Yeah.
Well, who are you?
Yeah.
We're a website. Yeah.
That guy right there, that's the hearing last week on Aliens, Scott Bray, that guy right there. I'm
Yeah.
friends with him.
really?
On Facebook, he and his wife share, they're one of these that share a Facebook page, but his wife and I graduated high school together and we were
Oh, wow.
friends.
Oh wow.
And now he's the deputy director of naval intelligence.
Yeah, I had no idea what he did in DC. She was always super smart, but apparently
Yeah.
he was the spokesperson last week for these UFOs.
Well, get the
How's Scott
scope.
doing?
Yeah.
Do you ask her that? How's Scott doing?
yeah.
He's doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get him on the pod.
about aliens.
Yeah.
He knows about aliens.
That or the guy that got his legs bitten off by a shark.
Well,
Reach
like,
out to him.
I feel like it was episode 2 of this pod. We talked about that documentary about
Do you
unsolved
always say
mysteries.
pod?
I do when I'm using in the context in which I was using it earlier.
You don't like that, do you?
I don't like that.
We call it the cast.
Okay, that's okay. No, neither the podcast.
How do you feel about sewed instead of episode? Like, that was a good.
Crazy.
That was a good sewed.
That's crazy.
You don't like that?
The
No.
epi?
Who's not?
Ugh.
What? What? How busy is your schedule that you can't? What do you have going on?
It's not a question of time.
It kind of
It's
is.
a colloquialism. It's just it sounds nice. It was fun. That was a
Coke?
great sewed. That was a great sewed. People say ep a lot. I don't care for that as much. Sewed is fun to me.
But it's also like why is it like changing? Why is everything changing to be just quicker? Like it's I don't know, just being different to be different is how I look at it. That's what I have a problem with it. So if it's like pod, I could I get I don't. I always just feel you say what it is. If I feel like I'm trying something, that's what I have a problem with. So if I said you watch that ep, like I think you would know that I am.
You dropped off so quick. Watch that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. About 4 eps in. Like I don't believe the person saying that is doing it authentically. I think it's like you're doing it. It's just
Right.
not. I almost understand like kids doing it because it's like there's almost is kind of authentically because they're all learning how to like children.
Okay.
They're learning how to talk. So it's like when I
Right.
see an adult do it, you go, that's not, you weren't a kid when that happened.
Okay.
So you can't just go back and make up.
Like what if your dad called you and goes, I'm watching this new Netflix show. How many sods are you in?
Yeah.
That would be weird.
I would call
That
the
would be
hospital.
Yeah.
I go,
But it's
like,
all about context. Sometimes you're just having a conversation with a friend. You're just being a little silly, being a little goofy, having a little fun. You go,
Yeah.
it's a great sode.
well, when you're hanging out with your other 28-year-old, 30-year-olds, then yeah, y'all are probably all doing that kind of stuff.
Okay. What should I call it? Stories or programs?
Yeah. I would like
You old cats?
Yeah. I would like
We watch our
programs.
stories.
Yeah.
There's been a few end of the world predictions that surprised did not work out. The 2012 Mayan calendar,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people thought that that was going to be the end of the world.
I like that one.
Some people think that they have some theories that they think the world did end.
Yeah.
And we're just
That's why we
living-
wrote you on this
Oh,
podcast.
We're just
Dusty.
living in the aftermath now.
Oh, really?
And like things have changed. I quit drinking in 2012 and I like,
That's it.
you know what I mean?
It's the end of the world.
It ended for me. And no, it's some people, I've heard people say that, and some people say that there is a shift, like something's wrong with our calendar and that we're like 8 years off. So that actually 2020 was the Mayan calendar 2012
Yeah.
and that it ended then.
And so it ended. So right now, nothing matters.
Well, it's like at least the way we knew it ended, I mean, like 2020 was a wild time. I'm not saying it's real, but some people say
like
that.
it's just a different, like we're just at a different thing. It
Yeah.
is crazy how different like 80s and 90s and even 2000s. Like you think back, you're like, God, it was so much
Mm-hmm.
easier. Stuff is easy now. I mean, look, you got a podcast. I mean, Bates is basically famous.
Mhm.
Never could have happened in the 90s. I mean, if it wasn't for this,
And he worked for a TV station in
Yeah.
the 90s. It was still
it's
never,
not
20
even
years, no
not
one
even
knew.
a shot.
never on the table.
Technology alone, he's out here. He does Cameo.
Do you do Cameo?
Yeah. I did. I had an incident a couple months ago where my flight was so delayed getting out because of snow. I got stuck in Atlanta and I had to spend the night in the Atlanta airport. So I just found one of the gates that was just empty and just went and slept on the floor there. It was a Southwest terminal and I was sleeping pretty good. And I just finally wake up and I kind of hear some stuff. And they had lined up for Southwest for the flight.
Oh,
And they were above me.
Oh, no.
B31 through 60 was right over top of me. And I'm just got my coat over me like a.
Yeah.
And I just had to get up. Excuse me. compose myself and move to another gate that was empty because
And then you just went back to sleep?
I found another empty gate. Yeah.
Yeah. What time was that?
That was like the earliest. That was like 6 a.m., but I'd been up all night. So I was just trying to lay back down. I memorized the greeting from the Atlanta mayor because I heard it so many times that night that I had it down to memory. But I say that to say,
is it?
well, I don't know now, but he's like, what? Welcome to Atlanta. Whether you're a native Atlantean or visiting to whatever, come see, I don't know. I can't remember the rest of it. But at the time I had it. But Ruth
At the time.
Ruth said
I knew a lot of stuff at the time.
well, yeah, that's my point. Ruth said, if you want a cameo from Brian, you can pay money and go do it, or just go to the Atlanta airport and find a homeless guy laying on the ground and go up to him.
Did you? So when you lay down at the gate, I mean, you laid next to the. You didn't like look at the surroundings.
I got up as close to the glass, the window.
I know, but like, where they line up is as close to the glass and the window. So like, you didn't see the number thing, like that was all there.
Well, it was. I thought I was pretty far down, but that line was pretty long.
Line was bad.
Yeah, yeah.
There was a couple other people that were sleeping. They already had their corners, so I just had to grab a spot.
Were you staying in your exact gate?
No,
You were at a different gate.
yeah, I found an empty one.
Yeah.
at the time, but
But people were already in the
It
corners.
would be something if that were your spot, though. You just woke up and like
Yeah.
stood up and like, all right, I'm
walked
in
right on the
line."
If I'd have found like B32
Yeah,
and
that
just
exact spot.
laid right there, got my spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to my hotel that night, and it got there so late they'd given away my room, and it was completely full. And I was walking in the middle of the night in Atlanta with my bags in a bad part of Atlanta, hotel to hotel, and they were all full. And it was pouring
You
down.
didn't
the
look at it on your
walking-
phone? You just knocked on all the hotel doors? Excuse me, do you have vacancy?
Good sir.
Good sir.
Any room in the inn for a weary
Yeah.
traveler?
That's brutal.
So
man.
wait, you checked in so late. Why did? Because your flight was.
It took my flight so long to get out of Nashville because of snow
Yeah.
that when we finally got there, it was after midnight, and they had.
So you're
And
walking
where's
around
your
Atlanta.
hotel? Yeah. Then were you on a layover?
It was yes. I was just going to. I thought there was snow in Nashville. I thought if I could get to my first leg, Atlanta, then I could get out the next morning because I had
Yeah.
an early flight. So I went ahead and went to Atlanta, but
And you booked a hotel in Atlanta.
last minute, like when I finally realized our flight was getting out
Yeah.
of Nashville, I just went on and grabbed a cheap hotel near the airport.
Yeah.
And then when I got there, we got there so late that they had given away, and then they're like, "We're completely full." And then that was like a Ramada. Then there's a Red Roof Inn next door. I walked over there; they're full. There's a
You're lucky to be alive.
micro hotel. I know. Then I thought I'm just going to go to that wall. It's raining now. It's snowing in Nashville, but it's just raining in Atlanta, and I'm just out there at 4 a.m.
With suitcases.
Yeah, with suitcases. I thought I'm just going to go to that Waffle House, dry off, and try to figure something out. I go over there because of COVID, they won't let you in. You just got to order at the window. So I'm just stuck. So I finally just called an Uber and said, "Take me back to Atlanta airport."
Rejected by the
You
Waffle
called an
House.
Uber and said, "Do you mind just driving around for about 5-6 hours?" And they just
So I could
crash in the
sleep
back.
in the back seat.
Yeah.
But I am on Cameo. So another end of the war prediction. I vaguely remember this. Harold Camping was this Christian radio broadcaster. You guys know him? Harold Camping
Mm-mm.
had all these stations, and he said the world was going to end in May 2011. And he said that 5 months. So it's going to be like the rapture.
Mhm.
All the good people leave, and then the bad people stay. And then 5 months later, in what would that be? October. Then there's the second coming where Christ just does it all.
Okay.
So May 2011 rolls around and nothing happened. He had the exact date, and nothing happened. So then he's like, "Oh, you know what? I miscalculated. It's just all going to happen in October, the whole thing.
Oh,
just
wow.
one big shebang."
One fell swoop.
So he doubled down. And then October 2011 happened. And people quit their jobs because they're like, "What's the point?" Some people like committed suicide which I'm not sure why.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
I don't. How many people? Like, how many people did that?
Committed suicide? Not a
Yeah.
lot. One lady tried to
You can't even blame Harold for that one.
Yeah.
You know?
the guy jumped out of a window and killed himself.
Yeah.
And so the lady like cut her wrists and cut her kids. They all survived, but
Yeah. People are crazy, and you can't. Yeah, that's But I mean, that doomsday clock can make someone do something like anything
Yeah.
can make anybody do anything. If
that's true.
there's no way this could be that. How many people like quit their jobs? It's like there can't be a lot. There
I'm
just
not saying it's a
can't.
lot, but I thought
Quitting
it was-
the job, I get. But
Can you imagine going back to work on that Monday?
Like George Costanza. Yeah.
You told your boss off on Friday because you think the
Yeah.
world's ending Saturday.
Yeah, just ask off. Like, I'm gonna be off.
yeah.
Well, it's like they wanted to. Why did they quit the job? Did they quit before? Because they're like, well, I'm gonna go try to live a life before. I guess.
Maybe. I even envisioned he just wanted to tell his boss off and he thought,
Yeah.
I won't be back. But maybe he just wanted to quit. And
I'd want to know how many people.
I don't think
lot
it was
of
a
people-
ton.
I know, but
Could you look that up?
Yeah, how many
No.
people?
I don't
know
know
how
if
to-
you can, but I mean, that's a lot of stories that get crazy because everybody's like, this guy was doing it, and you're like, is 8 people.
Right.
And you're
Yeah.
like, well, those 8 people were
Was this cousins?
another planet.
Yeah.
Like they're anything would have said them.
Especially suicide. I mean, really, like that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
The world's ending in
Yeah.
May, and you're like, well, let me just do it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have till May to wait.
Yeah, I agree.
We got an elderly man in Taiwan did it on May 5th. It's a few weeks, a few
Yeah.
months before. And then there were other unconfirmed reports of it. So no real hard
It led
numbers.
to nearly 40 deaths. They're right below it.
Mhm.
What does that say?
Prompted in part by scripture, rumors, and late night radio talk shows, the group's fanaticism led to nearly 40
So there's an
deaths.
exact hard number.
Yeah, but
I mean, that's what we're looking
yeah,
for.
you're right.
Is that you go, there's one guy, this article, there's not much else. I go, well, there's a thing that says it led to nearly 40 deaths. There's an exact thing.
Yeah, nearly is not an exact.
I don't
You're
know
right. So
how-
we should not even.
Approximation.
Yeah, let's not even talk about it. All right, one guy.
The one guy that got specific about is all.
But I
know.
mean, look, you feel bad for these people. That guy shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But it's like 40 deaths. It's like, it doesn't, everybody's like, majority
just-
of people are normal.
I just don't know how that prediction leads to death.
That guy was 89.
Yeah. And he died 3 years later.
Oh.
But yeah, he admitted after the
Of
second.
embarrassment.
Yeah. I mean,
He predicted it a few times. That one got the most traction. After that one, he said, I'm not going to do it anymore. That's sinful for me to even be predicting.
Oh, that's good.
Because
I could see it leading to his death. Yeah, but
Yeah.
not anybody else's.
Yeah, the deaths don't really make,
No.
because it would be like if you're listening to him, I would imagine, because if you won't go to heaven if you kill yourself. So why
Right.
would you, unless
Mhm.
someone's like, well, I don't want to, it's like, God, you should be Jesus about to come. I don't go live with him forever. What am I supposed to do? And they go,
maybe they
"Well,
thought it
kill
would be.
yourself.
Yeah.
You're never gonna see him. He goes, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Maybe they thought that'd be more torturous on Earth. So they kill themselves.
But the point of it being is he studied the Bible. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
The point of it being is like that. If you're studying the Bible and this, I would just think that that's opposite of what you're supposed to do.
I agree. It seemed like you just get your life together if you're concerned before
Yeah.
May 21st.
But quitting the
Yeah.
job, I've made people. I got someone to quit their job one time to go to the beach. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like people are ready to quit their
People are
jobs.
ready to quit their jobs.
Yeah.
This one said Harold Camping's wife described him as, quote, flabbergasted that the apocalypse didn't start over the weekend.
I just
Imagine looking out the window. Like,
Yeah,
my God.
yeah. He goes, I can't.
Can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah,
Looks
Everything-
fine out there.
Sees the horn honk. There it is. There it is. And then they go, no, that was just light screen. He goes, oh. He goes, I mean, that whole month was just brutal for
I
him and his
bet.
wife. Just like did you hear that? There's a wind out. We got wind chimes. And he goes, and it's not like he thinks it's a ghost. He thinks the world.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
starting. It's starting.
It's starting. Buckle up, let it happen.
The food's here. Come on.
The food, because we did Uber Eats. They're ringing the doorbell. It's a guy.
A couple more. There was a hen that was laying eggs that said a message, Christ is coming. And people thought that was a sign, but it turns out the owner, it was just a trick. She was pushing the eggs back up in the hen. And then,
So the egg spelled out Christ is coming.
yeah. But she was really just painting it on the eggs and then putting it back in the chicken.
Jeez, that poor
Yeah.
hen.
I know.
Yeah.
She
I
put
know.
it back in the chicken. And
Whoop. That hen. This every time. He's like smoking a cigarette. Just like, whoop, whoop. He goes, yeah. Doesn't know what's happening.
That's about it.
All right.
That's a good
Well,
time.
fun episode. No Doomsday.
Yeah.
we did one on the best time to be alive, and now
Yeah.
we've countered with
Well, how many deaths did that lead to?
The hen one?
Yeah.
inconclusive.
The hen killed itself. It just goes, I can't. I keep having the same baby. I'm not supposed to be here.
And if you're that woman, why are you doing that?
I think she was making money off of it. People were coming
Yeah.
to see it.
You're coming to watch the chicken lay an egg?
Yeah.
This is in 1806. So
Oh, they had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That
a
makes
little
sense.
context would have helped.
Yeah, I thought this was
I
like,
mean, I thought it was like
last
90
year.
Yeah, I thought it was 92.
well, I
but
was.
thought-
If it wasn't for Dusty, I'd have gotten away with
Sorry,
it.
sorry.
Yeah.
Somebody calling me out now.
1806.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
yeah.
All right. So that's it. And off the grid, we're just talking. We can do that. Did we do off the grid?
that was kind of it. Just,
Oh, that was off the grid? Had nothing to do with off the grid.
well, we talked about like if you.
Oh, the earth.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're pretty off the grid, I guess, if you're shoving eggs back in
Yeah.
chickens.
Yeah.
You ain't got a lot
Oh, in
going on.
1806.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
all off the grid. There
Yeah.
wasn't even a grid, really.
There wasn't. Yeah. All right.
There's no grid to be off.
All right, everybody. Thank you.
Can we promote a show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron and I, Woodstock, Georgia, this Thursday.
Oh, this Thursday.
This Thursday.
So
tomorrow
tomorrow.
night at Mad Life, and then I'm at the Comedy Catch in Chattanooga all weekend.
I'm with Henry Cho in Marion, Illinois on Friday.
All right, Dusty.
I'm off this weekend.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm off this weekend too.
yeah. I'm going to Dauphin Island, Alabama.
Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna hang
fun.
out on the beach.
They have dolphins.
Well, it's spelled D-A-U, Dauphin.
Oh, so they.
But I
probably-
would say it the same way, I guess.
Yeah.
Dolphin, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe get a shark attack.
Yeah.
Have something to
There you go.
report.
That's something.
Yeah.
Oh, can't hide money. And I don't know what that's. Is it nice? Like, it's funny.
It's pretty good. It's
yeah.
pretty
Oh,
cool.
is it?
Yeah.
No, I bet it's great. I
Yeah.
just-
Well, I want to go somewhere that's less people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like more. You
It's
know
a
what
good
I mean?
spot. Yeah.
I'm not trying to go to Panama City Beach.
yeah. No. Yeah,
I guess that's nice to me. I don't know what's
Yeah.
happening, but
Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. Yeah. Well, save it. Killer bees. Very funny.
Yeah. It's the
Uh,
best.
All right, I get that. I just announced all my fall dates. I have some Beacon, New York's coming up. I'm off this week. The next week, Atlantic City, Beacon, New York, Northampton, Massachusetts, and my fall dates are all just been announced. And we've been having fun. So come out. I'm done with my COVID shows.
I saw
You
that.
done with
yeah.
all the makeups?
All the makeup COVID shows in Bellingham this weekend was like the last run of them. And so like all those people that held on those tickets, I mean, they were 2019,
That's so
November
crazy.
2019. So the fact that they hung on to them and and the crowds were so awesome, dude.
It's almost like 2 different hours that you've had since the
It's,
right. Yeah.
it's completely,
Yeah.
it's a completely different, because now it's new. So the Rain Check Tour will continue. And so we're hitting all the spots. So go check it out. And and when people ask me, they go, "Why you know this or that?" I get asked about Phoenix a lot. I will be at Phoenix. Okay,
Mhm.
which that's fair to ask because that's not announced. It's not announced yet. I'm coming to Phoenix. I will be there. And then, but the other ones they're like, no. I get Nashville a lot too. No,
Yeah.
Nashville. You're like, I did the most shows you could do. So, but yeah, just maybe look and go, well, was he here?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then I bet I was there.
Yeah.
All right. We love you always, Dusty. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Pumped.
100th episode.
right.
We did
100th
it.
episode. We did it.
Yes.
101.
Coming up.
All right. See y'all. Nateland is produced by Nateland Productions and by me, Nate Bargatze, and my wife Laura on the All Things Comedy Network. Recording and editing for the show is done by Genovations Media. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to catch us next week on the Nateland Podcast.